Folks, shall we get at it?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So for the agenda, strike number 4 and 5. There's no claims this week. It was still stuck on there.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved. I'll second that.
All right. How about just a couple of ayes in favor of
Aye.
aye?
That works.
Grace?
Hello, so I am here representing the Wellness Committee. We had a meeting last week, and thank you to Bruce for coming out for that, I appreciate it. As you know, for employees who are on the county's insurance and participate in the wellness program, there's a lot of really great incentives to do so. Of course, we get points knocked off insurance for good participation, and they can also participate in the walking challenge, a lot of these drawings for like the larger cash prizes. There's like the Voya physical reimbursement, online assessment, and then of course the additional wellness day off for those employees who have completed their physical. However, it's been brought up that employees who are not on the county's insurance, who are getting their physical, that they should also be rewarded for being good stewards of their health, and for making sure that they are healthy and getting their regular physical. So what we wanted to bring to the table and what we discussed last week at our wellness committee meeting is the opportunity for employees who are not on the county's insurance, who go to their provider and get a physical done, that if they were to submit something like a signed doctor's note just stating that they have gotten their physical, that they would perhaps be eligible to have a wellness day off as well. Of course, they don't get those additional incentives that those who are in the county's insurance do, but we just kind of maybe wanted to even the playing field for employees who are not on our insurance, but who are still, again, being good stewards of their health and getting their physical taken care of. So the solution that we had come up with is similar to how you would get like a child's excuse in school, going to the doctor and having them just sign off on their letterhead saying so-and-so was seen in our office for a physical on this date of service, and then having that turned into Julia. So no, personal information, no information about their health, just saying this person was seen, and then we discussed having that make them eligible for a wellness day off that would start January 1st of 2026. So we just kind of want to bring that to the table and just representing the group.
May I ask how many part-timers is there?
I'm glad so this would only be for the full-timers. So full-time, not on county insurance.
Okay.
But I don't know the exact numbers for how many we have, but yeah, part-time unfortunately would not be eligible.
I think it's in the teens, ain't it? Okay.
There's a good number.
Okay.
So they don't necessarily get all the additional benefits of that everyone else does who is on the insurance, but it does kind of reward them for taking care of their health.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if that's something we need a motion for. I'm not sure.
That's why I put discuss approve, so
Okay.
I would either give her one way or the other.
I think that sounds like a good idea, and I don't know if we need to make a motion, but I'd approve of that. I'll make a motion. We don't know if we need to.
I don't see any problems with giving them an incentive.
Okay, that's your second.
So take care, yeah, I would second that.
Okay. I'll call for a vote by name.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Vols, aye.
There you go, Ray.
Thank you very much.
Land use.
I'm assuming you have your budgets in front of you. With that, you'll find that there's nothing increased at all. If you've looked at it at all in the land use budget.
I guess the only question I had, Barb, are you planning on getting a third person yet, or not yet at this time?
Not at this time.
Okay.
We're trying to do it ourselves.
Okay. You gentlemen have any questions for her?
The, skip down to the, and I don't know what it is why I'm asking the questions. The well closure, well rehabilitation,
Those are my state grants.
Oh,
And we,
okay.
and we did increase them because we have been allotted more money. And in order for us to spend it, we have to have spending authority to do so.
Yep.
And since the amounts have increased, that increases. Of course, we don't reimburse unless we get a paid receipt, but the amounts have gone up, so therefore we have to put it in there. Also, we created a new category, the auditor's office did for us. We are now allowed to participate in some shot chlorination, so that is also included in that state grant as well. And so we created a new line item with that because we are now provided some funds for that.
and then I've got a question mark up by, it's 410-000. It looks like it's come and gone at times. Contract carriers. What do we contract with Lincoln County for?
We put that in there. It is not happening. That was to get a 2080 agreement with them in case we needed to for help in the office. If one of us was down and we could not do a septic inspection or whatever,
Okay,
we put that in there so that we could add some funds in case it did come up. We do not have the 2080 agreement with either Lynn or Blackhawk. However, they have indicated to us if something happens, they will help us. And we've not done anything with price, but we do have the ability to pay in case it's necessary.
and then I saw under 446, did you guys get a new radio put in your vehicle?
We did not.
We probably need to take care of that and bring you into the new system.
I don't even have an other radio.
No radio,
And
you
I've
guys have a
asked,
handheld.
I did, I turned in my other one, and I was to get one back. I have asked, I asked you, and I asked Dean, and I still have not gotten it.
All right, need to make myself a note to get Barb a new radio.
Thank you.
Any questions, Bruce?
No, I do not.
Barb, do you want to explain to them how it's split between the two,
What is
land use and health?
the two departments?
Yeah, I don't know if Bruce understood all that part.
I have two budgets, one's the land use, and then the health board does my health budget. So you're responsible for all the things in my land use, well, of course, you're responsible for the bottom lines, but my health board does the environmental health part.
Okay.
Anybody else got any more questions?
I do not.
No, sir.
Thank you.
Barb.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Got 5 minutes. How about the minutes, gentlemen?
There was 2 sets, just that quick one.
Yep.
I didn't see anything.
I didn't
I
either.
didn't
No
see
mistake.
anything.
Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, we'll do this one by eye.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Vols, aye.
Done. Okay. Terra Hills, I seen that here.
Yep.
I'd make a motion to approve the Class C retail alcohol license for Terra Hills.
I would second that motion.
Vote by name.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Vols, aye.
That's for 12 months. What else is quick?
Number 7, I can talk quick.
Okay, fire away.
So, they are going to be purchasing a new ambulance, and for that 10% local option sales service tax match, she estimated it might be around 92,000, so when she brings that invoice and we go to pay it, I'll bring it back and you guys will do a formal resolution.
Okay.
So, just basically wanting your blessing ahead of time.
Have you seen it? You should
No,
have
I-
in your package. It's a little package.
Oh, okay.
It's all broke down. They're getting just a little bit for the old chassis. Evidently the motor's blowed.
Yep. And then
Well,
they
is this
might-
one we talked about where they're gonna have a loaner possibly?
Yes,
That don't
this
use?
is it.
Okay.
And I don't know if they're gonna submit for EMS funding too.
You got one? Okay.
I probably have one in the paperwork somewhere.
Okay, yep.
Sure do.
So can I get a motion to do the matching funds from loss for the Belle Plaine ambulance service?
I would make the motion to move forward with Belle Plaine Ambulance Service and the replacement of their ambulance.
I'll second that.
Call for a vote by name again.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Vols, aye.
Okay, so once that comes through, I'll bring it back by resolution.
Okay,
How long is it gonna take to get that thing? A year and a half?
yep. They're shooting for April or May when they'll get it.
Wow.
So they're gonna run 5 months, 6 months with a rental. Didn't know you could rent ambulances.
I had no idea.
Okay, Matt?
Barbara. First, you mind me saying my what is it?
Delay.
Delay. All right, so Paige and Brandon Delay are requesting to change the use of approximately 2 acres of land to allow for a single-family dwelling. This site is located approximately 2 miles east and 2 miles south of Newhall, along the south side of US Highway 30, and that's in section 32 of Fremont Township. And this site, it's located on a 46-acre parcel that's owned by the applicant's grandmother, Barbara Sanka. The applicants intend to purchase approximately 5 acres. The area of this request, it's currently in production, but none of this area is considered high-quality farmland. The proposed parcel the applicants intend to purchase has an average wave corn stability rating of 62. The applicants intend to utilize one of the existing field accesses off of US Highway 30 to access the property. The Iowa Department of Transportation, they've completed a preliminary evaluation of the proposal, and they've reported that would be able to use one of those 2 existing field accesses to be a residential access. The applicants will apply then for an entrance permit if approval for the land use change is granted. And US Highway 30, along this section of the road, that's a federal expressway and it has an annual average daily traffic count of 10,000 vehicles. A private sewage disposal system will need to be installed to serve this new dwelling, and a private water well will need to be installed if rural water is not available or if the applicants choose not to connect. And there's single-family dwelling located east of the site, and there are single-family dwellings along with a shop and outdoor storage area located north of the site. And then there are row crops west and south of the site. 4 notices were sent out to the adjacent property owners, and legal notices were published in the official newspapers. And our office did not receive any comments regarding this request prior to today's hearing. In this proposal, as mentioned, it's located on a site that's not considered high-quality farmland. The applicants are related to the owner of the farm ground upon which they're requesting to build. And one of the main concerns with the site, obviously, was being able to access the property, but the DOT has determined that this area, they would be able to use one of those existing driveways there to access the property. So this proposal should not have any negative impacts on surrounding farm operations. And Barbara, Brandon, Paige, I don't know if you guys have anything you want to add? Okay.
I would make the motion to appoint Larry Bloss as the Union Township Clerk.
Second.
Then who did we have for township trustee? Did we need one?
No, because Matt was already on that one too.
No.
You still need one?
We still need
Yes,
one more?
we need, well, we'll go ahead and do Larry's. He's gonna be clerk, separate, so.
Yep.
We got a motion, a second, call for a vote on that.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Vols, aye.
Okay, and then we got Don Tiedemann from Blairstown that wants to be the trustee of Union Township.
Okay, he's the clerk and then Don is the
Don's
trustee.
gonna be the trustee.
Okay.
So can I have a motion to approve Don Tiedemann as Union Township trustee?
I'll make the motion to appoint Don Tiedemann as Union Township trustee.
I'll second the motion.
Okay, call for a vote by name.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Vols, aye.
Okay, now the last one, I'm gonna let you take over. Haley,
For Kane Township,
yes.
so normally we do those at the first of the year, we just missed this one on the agenda. So reappoint Tim Capuchian and Todd Hennings
Okay,
to Kane Township.
Well, I would make the motion to appoint Tim Capuchian and Todd Headings to the King Township trustees.
I second that motion.
okay, call for a vote by name.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Vols, aye.
That's it for the appointments on that, right?
Other than Monroe. Did you give me one the other day on the phone? Is that that, maybe you emailed it to me, was it Ronnie Fry?
Yeah, I told you the name.
I think you emailed it to me.
Yeah, I thought I did. But I'm working on Homer right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you said Ronnie Fry.
Okay,
I think it was over the phone.
okay. So, can I get a motion on that one?
I would make a motion to appoint Ron Fry to fill the vacancy from Monroe Township.
I'll second the motion.
Call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Vols, aye.
Okay. So next week, you're gonna put on the agenda for Homer.
Mhm. You're working on that one, right?
I got that name ready. If you want it ready, I'll give it to you.
I can put that on there, yeah, that's fine.
Okay. 5 minutes for the public hearing. And everything else is pretty well timed. So how about reports?
I haven't been to any meetings other than the wellness committee. And one of the questions we had is, do you guys know, does secondary roads, do they have a spring training session or something where they get the most of the employees together?
They used to come in and do their safety.
Safety, I was gonna say, I
Yeah.
think they do that.
Is the
At
one
least
gentleman
twice
that
a
did
year.
it, he passed away, but I thought they were getting back into that.
Yeah.
Because I'd like to get in front of that group along with someone from the wellness committee to try to get that 85% covered so that we get our discounts on the points. So I suppose I just talked with Roger on
Or
that.
else Doug Kern.
Yeah, 'cause
Doug
he would be the
Kearns?
one that schedules the safety
Okay.
board meeting.
I can give you his number some other, after
Yes.
the meeting or whatever.
Yeah, that would be great, because
Call him direct.
that's one of the organizations that we have trouble getting. They just don't know about it,
Okay.
so we need to do that.
Tracy, before Larry leaves, you wanna sign that letter for the bank? I put it on the supervisor letterhead. He has to take that to the bank.
Hey, I found the ambulance thing.
See, I give you guys all the same
I
stuff.
know you did, I just don't know where I put it.
Just a matter of finding
Thank you, sir.
Then I got the most paper used this week. We used to pass around an award. The paper I printed. Thank you. Just stepped out, didn't you?
I think he might have left. Catch him?
No, I'll scan it to him.
Drive around right now.
I think that's why you come in person too.
I can take it to him, too, when I go home.
You gonna get a break today? Then we have 6 o'clock tonight.
There's something posted,
Isn't there EMS meeting tonight?
nothing posted,
it. I haven't seen anything. I didn't get an email on it either.
yeah.
I thought it was tonight, first Tuesday of the month.
It's supposed to be 4th.
Yeah. I was planning on it, but I won't break my heart if I can go home. I mean,
Ron,
no.
do you have any reports?
I did not have any meetings last week.
I guess I had Easy Cog, very quiet down there. Eastern Iowa Trust Fund, quiet there. And then also I met with Next Era Energy on Wednesday up here about how they're thinking about starting Game Arnold up. They're still in the talking stage, nothing's in stone, so.
I've not heard anything from Iowa Workforce. Do they?
I don't think they do much.
So I shared all your guys' contacts.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything from them, so I don't know how often they meet or what goes on with that. Wait and see, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay.
nice to know what your schedule was, right?
Well, I've got the book, I wanna, fill it out.
You want to fill it up. Well,
All right.
Well, should we open up the public hearing? at 9:30.
Yep. I shared with you the different line items in the service areas for that amendment. It was on that. Unless you want me to go through them.
Is this 25-6?
What?
Is this 25-6?
Oh, yeah, for the resolution, that's how we were gonna, if you approve the
Okay,
amendment, we have to do it by resolution.
right.
And I just listed out by service areas there. But per service area, if you wanted me to go through the different items, I can.
It probably wouldn't hurt because I pushed the pencil early this morning about it.
Okay?
Actually, money-wise, it's only
Right.
590,000
Well, it was
more that
actually,
you actually need because you got a lot of
we got revenue.
grants coming in and money coming in that's covering off what the spending authority is, correct?
Right, it was like, ended up being net 2568.
Yep, so if you wanna just touch on some of the,
Yep. So, one of those was a grant for public health. So I had to increase her spending authority to offset that. Then we had the juvenile detention, as we all know, needed some extra spending authority. The fair board allocation, I think I told you guys that last year, they didn't get paid in fiscal year '24. So we paid them the first part of this year, so I need additional spending to give them their fiscal year '25 allocation. Service area 8 and 9, I had an employee split position, so I'm just adjusting spending authority between one and the other. Then we need some spending authority out of lost for the IT software hardware needs at the sheriff due to them losing their IT person and issues going on there. The grant for conservation, some of that was back and forth, so she didn't need as much, so some of those were negatives. Then we needed outside legal fees for the county attorney's office, sheriff's office. We needed some increase for salaries, jail food and provisions. We put some in there for training academy, in case they have a new employee that needs to go to the academy. And then a cushion for vacation payouts in the sheriff's office. And then the local option sales and service tax for some vehicles. But otherwise, that was it in a nutshell. And then this is the formal state by service area, and then that resolution that you would need to approve. I won't do these journal entries until you approve it today. Oh, and then there was one transfer from local option sales to secondary roads.
Page 2.
Yep.
I don't have any questions on it, maybe we discussed this stuff previously.
Yep. I would make a motion to approve resolution 25-6.
I would second that motion.
okay, called by vote by name.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Vols, aye.
And then Tracy, this one just needs your signature on it for me.
You need 2 copies of this?
Just one.
Just one?
Thank you, sir.
Dave wanted to comment on something.
We just got our bids and for vehicles, that money we spoke about a couple weeks ago. I guess we can just start at the top. You mentioned this last resolution, you put some extra money in there for salaries. What was that amount?
It was 120 for salaries.
So we crunched the numbers, it looks like we figured about 158 for salaries to get us through. That's just a little more. The second item we have is outfitting of the new hires, like leather gear,
Uniforms.
just stuff they need. We figured about $8,000 a person, so that's about $32,000. The 3 vehicles you covered, we can cross that off. And then the outfitting of approximately 6 vehicles. We do have bids for about 6 vehicles, that's gonna be about $120,000. We do have the first 3 bids for the first vehicles from Raycom, and they average 17 to 2 at 17 and 1 at 21. And I have these here if you want to look at them. We were able to use some stuff, some of the stuff we're not able to use, like we thought we could use the old push bumpers. They've changed the fascia, we can't use those. But for the first 3, we need most everything in these vehicles. And then guns. We need some rifles and some handguns. 2 rifles and I guess 4 handguns, 2 handgun lights, and the total on that, well,
So two rifles, including all accessories, so your optics, your sling, that kind of stuff. And then the handguns, mounting a handgun light and holsters. Quote we have is $9,472. Now, under the previous year, if we did get the red dots for the pistols, we need to accommodate holsters for those, and that's gonna be an additional $1,000.
And then-
So in the 10,500 range just for weapons, enough to get our hires equipped.
and tasers, we need 2 tasers, right?
I don't remember the number. I thought it was 3 or 4.
I don't know.
I think it's four tasers with $6,200. Because Jeff's had gone down and then with the new hires.
How old are some of the tasers you're probably getting old?
They're probably pushing 10 years now, I think. I don't remember.
They're still making the same taser we have, but they're going away from that, they're going to a taser 10. But that's,
The quote we have is to just buy 4 of the older versions. If we go to the Taser 10, they want to put us on a yearly payment plan.
Yeah, they don't wanna sell them to you anymore.
And just trying to be cost effective. I think we can still probably get another 5 years out of the tasers we currently have. So we just priced getting 4 more of the older version tasers.
Batteries are still available.
Yes.
yep.
I can see that being a trick to pull on you. Discontinue the batteries, so now the tasers are no good.
At some point, they will discontinue them. That's how
They-
Axon works.
Other than that, is that the only shelf life restriction on those things? If the batteries are no longer available?
No, I think it's the software inside, it's everything.
Okay.
I mean, now they have it,
About those things, I don't know. I just know I don't ever want to get hit with one. That's about where I'm at with it.
and then that leads us to the big ticket item, the camera system.
We reached out to 3 different vendors, brought them in. Some of them have seen us multiple times. So your top 3 vendors are gonna be Axon, Motorola, and GTAC. Axon, in my opinion, they priced themselves out as like $153,000 a year. Yeah, we could have trimmed some of that stuff down, but they do bundle packages. I think Axon is probably out.
They have a lot of hidden fees that we don't like.
And then that brings us to GTAC and Motorola. I think we prefer the GTAC, and that's gonna run us about $90,000 a year. That gives you an in-car camera system, the body cam system, all the components you need. What else comes with that? Oh, so the laptops, we did get a separate price on the laptops. And that's where maybe Ben can speak up here.
Because here's where we're kind of at, and like I said, Ben can speak to this. The laptops in the car are basically going to be obsolete this fall. And Ben, can you kind of explain?
Basically because they run Windows 10 and the version of the processor on majority of them is one where it's not compatible with running Windows 10, the approved Microsoft way, I'll put it that way. So either we have to replace them or can't really use them because they'd be a major security vulnerability. So what we were looking at possibly doing was getting the laptops for the car and having those be the primary machine that all the patrolmen use, and then they have some desktops which are also going to be needing replacing, which instead of replacing those, we're going to put docking stations in, and that way they can just bring their laptop in from their car, hook it up with one cable that will charge it, hook up to a monitor, network, everything. It'll be like a normal desktop per se for them.
Okay.
So that should lead, it'll be easier to manage, that way we don't have double machines we're managing. It's just one laptop for one deputy. They've got all their stuff on it. They don't have to worry about, oh, I've got files here, files there, I have it saved here, that way there's nothing lost. Or to make things a little bit easier to flow, it seems a little bit better, which we kind of...
And we feel this is the time to do it. Our machines in the building are going to be obsolete in the fall, and same with our laptops in our cars. And this will kill 2 birds with 1 stone.
Another good thing about GTAC, so it's a 5-year agreement. If anything goes down with the body cam, the in-car camera system, or the laptops themselves, it's 1-for-1 exchange. There's no additional cost at all as long as we are under contract with them.
Basically bumper to bumper.
Yeah, so we're talking, like I said, $90,000 a year to get everything.
Everything.
Where are they out of?
They are out of Minneapolis, but they do stuff out of Urbandale. They have technicians locally in
They're
Iowa.
local. We looked into that also. They don't have customer service overseas.
They do have, well, we can get quotes on having a service agreement or no service agreement. The service agreement is only about an additional $1,500 a year, but that if something goes down, we make a phone call, they come directly to us, fix it. I think they said like a 30-hour turnaround, something like that.
They send a tech in, they don't try to do it over the phone?
Correct.
They send somebody in?
Correct.
Yep.
If you go with a no service agreement, you're saving about $1,500 a year.
And these are less expensive than the Panasonic Tough Books. That's kind of the...
These are semi-tough books. I know when we brought GTAC in a couple of years ago.
I mean, you can drop them. He dropped it. The laptop, I mean, they're set up. I mean, they're set up for law enforcement. I mean, they have a cradle that you put in your vehicle, and like we said, if you want to go in the office, you pull that out with you, go in, there's a dock there, you just plug it in, and it's...
I think they have built-in barcode scanners too, don't you?
Oh, yeah, and that's another thing, they have...
the equipment in the vehicle, and a lot of it just random stuff.
Like when you run a driver's license, there's an external scanner you have to plug in that you have to scan each driver's license. These computers have a built-in scanner, so it's one less thing to go around, if that makes sense.
So the laptops are with this GTEC?
Yes.
Yes.
So the 90,000 is for the cameras and the laptops?
Yes.
It's laptops, in-car camera system, body cam system,
The car.
the docks for,
The docks in the vehicles, docks in the office, power cords, everything.
Okay,
What is their storage?
and that's with the service agreement,
okay.
That includes the service.
yes.
Yes. They do cloud,
They do cloud.
and that's included.
That's included in the 90 a year.
Yes. That's
Way
everything.
better than Axon.
Yes. Oh, Axon, they price
Exxon
themselves
was
out.
153,000.
And from the understanding, they don't nickel and dime on data or anything like that, like, oh,
Right.
you hit your limit, we're gonna bill you this much. They don't do that.
Right.
Which is one of the things that I was worried about with
Or Axon
video.
probably would.
So G-Tech has unlimited data?
I think it was unlimited for certain cam, like, I think the in-car was unlimited and the body
Unlimited
cam, they had a
in-car.
limit, but like, you would never exceed that
Yeah,
limit
it's-
unless you had the camera on all day. And it was per camera, it wasn't like you get this limit for all the body cams. It's, each body cam had a certain limit, but you wouldn't exceed that limit.
So with this 90,000, that would include 15 in-car camera systems, 23 body cameras,
Install.
installation, on-site training, everything.
What's the turnaround time?
She said
6 weeks, probably.
Not fast. Less than 6 months, probably more.
But that's kind of all this stuff, that's kind of why we're in a, we need to move on this like yesterday, just upfitting.
with, yeah, with
Lead
the,
time on upfitting parts is 6 weeks, 8 weeks. Guns are about the same, tasers are, I mean, everything is about a 4 to 6 week lead time, so that time is not on our side.
the predicament that we're in right now is we have 3 vehicles here. We've got bids out on 3 more, so that's 6 vehicles. Hopefully, after July 1, we can order another 3, so that's 9 vehicles in the first year. We just finished our first round of interviews to hire. We're gonna need probably 4 to 5 people hired. We don't have vehicles, equipment, or anything to put these people in right now.
We just had another vehicle go down, another V6 Durango blew up, so that's another one off the road. So we're really,
So with these amounts, they're saying, I'll obviously have to do another amendment if you, or, I'm trying to figure out on ARPA too, if there's any unspent.
the total on that's about 551.
Minus what we did today though, right?
Well,
We don't know those numbers.
Yeah,
yeah, this is just salaries, 158, yeah, you can take off whatever, you said you budgeted for 120, so you can take off 120 off of that.
I think the last time we were in here, the sheriff threw out a ballpark number. This is coming in about half of that. We're
Right.
really trying to just narrow down just really what
Immediate
we
needs,
need.
these aren't
Yeah.
wants, these are immediate needs.
Start at the beginning. 158,000 salary.
Yep.
What else?
Outfitting of new hires, that's just the people themselves, leather gear, uniforms, shoes,
Body armor.
body armor.
Body armor,
Okay.
That's about 32, we figured about 8,000.
stuff for their car,
A new
like
hire.
spike strips, yeah.
per new hire, right?
And I'm just basing that on what, when I got hired, what they spent on me, but I mean, that's
Okay.
just ballpark.
What else?
I think it might be a little low there, but
We might be a little low, yeah. Vehicle, three more vehicles, which I think was in your, that's 133,692. And then the outfitting of 6 vehicles. Like I said, this one is gonna be more expensive than the other 2, but they're between 17.5 and 21.5. So we figured,
We just roughly figured
120.
20,000 per vehicle.
and obviously if you don't spend it all, we don't spend it all.
Right.
120,000 for 6 vehicles. Guns are 10,000. That's rifles, handguns, that's everything. And then 4 tasers, that's 6,200. And then the holsters to replace our old holsters to give us new optics on our sidearms pistols, that'd be about another 1,000.
the only thing I see a problem with is the 9 vehicles in 1 year. How many miles are you replacing these at?
Well, we had you a list. The first,
I didn't bring it in this time.
the first 3 is a wash.
Yeah, those are done.
The next 3 are
Like 132,000 on them, didn't they? Somewhere in that area?
Yeah.
That would be the high end.
And then, after the first of the year, I don't have any, I don't have a vehicle to drive, so I'm gonna need something. We've got 3 detective vehicles. One of those is probably gonna be for a law enforcement liaison. So that'll leave us back to 2 detective vehicles.
And we should have from the,
I think our entire fleet's only 3
we
vehicles.
purchased a brand new one a couple of years ago for the mental health region. Those should be coming back to us.
Say that again? We're gonna get the one that Shelby's driving?
No, Foundation 2, I believe, paid for that one.
No, we pay for that.
Because I know we've got a new one here that we paid for out of the region money. Though that one, 2 of them that are around here will be coming back to the county.
Okay.
They're, what are they, Dodge?
They're sitting right out
Yeah,
there.
they're little white jobs sitting out here.
I think one's a Jeep and one's a Dodge.
Yeah, you might be right.
Hey, what?
One's a Jeep, I think, and one's a Dodge.
So those will be used for,
Well, they're gonna come back to the county from the sounds of it.
so those could be used for the detective vehicles?
No, we have detective vehicles.
You have those, okay.
But I just thought maybe we're gonna have to take one of the detective vehicles and turn it into a law enforcement liaison vehicle, which you're telling me we have a couple vehicles.
We're very, very likely gonna have 2.
Okay,
That
well, that's
was- That
fine.
was their estimate, was they would be coming back to us.
But then if you look at that list, I think there's only like 4 vehicles that have less than 100,000 on them right now. So by the time, I mean, I'm not saying July 1, but sometime in the fall, just to keep, you gotta stay on, if you don't stay on top of it, you end up in a position like we're at now. It kinda all came to a head all at once.
My question's on the cameras and the laptops. You're gonna get this company down here, install them in the ones you got right now. Then whatever it takes, 4, 6, 8 weeks to get the other 3 that's sitting in your lots right now, to get them road worry stickers on them, bar lights, cages and all that. That company, G-Tech, they won't charge you a trip charge to come down and set them 3 up again? You know what I mean?
As long as we have the service agreement, as far as my understanding is, anytime we call, no price, no anything, they come and take care of us.
Yep.
They also do complete vehicle outfitting. I know we went with Raycom for the first 3. We're not opposed to getting quotes for them for the next 3 vehicles as well. They do them in Urbandale, if they come under Raycom's quotes.
But I see your point. I'm just saying, like I said, if you look at that list, these 6 kind of just, it's kind of a wash. And then, like I said, you gotta stay on top of it.
I think we want to get on a 3 vehicle rotation every year. So we bought 3 for, let's say, last year. We're gonna buy 3 July 1, that's for next year. With the new hires coming in, we just need an injection of 3 more right now. Once we get that, we'll be back on the 3 vehicle a year rotation.
And no,
So
we're not
we get
replacing
it-
vehicles at 70,000 miles. No, we're not. I mean, these vehicles are getting run.
We just had an engine blow up on our last
Last
vehicle.
How many miles are on that thing?
140.
140? Is that typical with that? With that make or year, or have they improved those things? Because I mean, that's what you're getting.
We're
prices on.
not getting V6. That's a V6.
That's a
Yeah.
V6, okay.
We tried the V6 and they're not, it's not a,
Okay.
and these are pursuit rated vehicles. You know, these Durangos are pursuit rated, whereas the pickups, they're just a pickup. They're not pursuit, they're not a patrol vehicle.
How many of these V6s are left that we gotta look forward to blowing
I
up?
think we just blew up the last one.
That's
I
good.
mean, we have one like a school car, but we don't
That
trust
doesn't,
it.
yeah, that doesn't get heavy.
We don't trust it. It isn't gonna be like this every year, guys. This is just kind of the pickle we're in right now.
Have
feel
you
like-
gotten the bids back from,
That's on next week's agenda,
that is? Okay.
From who?
the cars.
Oh, yeah. And I've listed that in here. That's in here.
Yep, yep.
And I already put that spending authority in there
Yep.
in today's amendment. So what they're talking about, we'll have to come and figure out what the difference is and for a possible third one.
But we would like approval, so like I said, we gotta get this stuff going in the pipeline. I mean, time is not on our side.
I think if we can get this, the basic stuff we need, we're gonna be set up pretty good.
Right.
We're,
Are we, I'm just trying to go into the guns. We just bought new guns.
Yeah, these aren't new guns. I mean, these aren't,
if we hire 4, we need to get 2 more rifles.
For how that
Those are-
could be.
yeah.
Okay.
And then the handguns, I think we're getting,
So 2 handguns, we'll get new hires. We also have courthouse people carrying personal weapons that we want to issue them department-issued guns, not carrying personal weapons.
Part-time guys. And say the full-time guys should have our guns.
but there's 2 that are carrying their own weapons.
Part-time guys,
Yeah, courthouse.
courthouse guys.
That's where we come up with the 4 pistols.
And say, because we lost 2 pistols somewhere.
We did.
Well, apparently not, because you're gonna add 2 for the courthouse
2 more
guys.
guys in.
So we didn't lose 2, we're adding 2.
Yeah. And you see our point for wanting to do that.
Oh, yeah. I need to look at the vehicles closer myself. Other than that, I think the camera system, I think that's a good price, a good deal. And I know the one that you got is,
Which vehicles you wanna look at? The outfitting, or what do you wanna look at?
the outfitting's gonna be a pile no matter where you go. And I don't know if you wanna ask these G-Tech folks.
And you know, as far as after July 1, that's gonna be in my budget. That's gonna be in the new budget,
Right.
you know? So, we don't have a reserve car. I mean, we don't even have an extra car. So, I mean, we
But
need,
if you got an extra, it's in use right now.
but that's just it, we don't have an extra. I mean, we don't, there's some circumstance, yeah, we have 1 extra right now, but we don't have any extra vehicles.
It's being used,
It's being used,
and it needs to go.
yeah. So, yeah, the 3 more after July 1, I mean, maybe it'll be 2. But 3 is more than likely.
If you hire these guys, like for the extra guns that you need, the turnaround for that's not very long, is that correct? You can get them through the academy or whatever, once you hire them?
So we have, currently there's 16 people in the running. We just did our first set of interviews last night, the next set tomorrow night. Of the 16, 11 are certified officers already. So
That's
we'll see what the civil service list looks like. We may not have to send anyone to an academy.
That'd be good.
We don't know.
That'd be great.
It could be as simple as give them a conditional offer, as long as they pass the psychological test, medical test. We could have them in the door in March.
In March, okay. And then, like, the cameras and the laptops and that whole catastrophe, we're kind of just, right now, as it stands, we don't have anything really that, as far as the cameras and everything, that works.
What
We
we've
got
got
nothing.
is old.
Old, and the laptops, are they, I mean, it's just to the point, like you say, we've got,
Well, they're
there's
just-
a limited amount of time on those.
They're just basically consumer laptops.
Mhm.
They're not made to sit in a car and,
Shake and-
you know, some guys have had good luck, some guys have had terrible luck.
Right.
Kind of the way that was looked at, Randy Forsythe started us with those. If you got 2 to 3 years out of them, you got a new laptop.
Well, that's the way I am personally with mine. I mean, so I can't imagine why they.
Where these other ones at the added cost, say, because of the cost, you wanna get 6 years out of them, so in your second 3 years, you're running with an older machine where you could get a new one, still spend less money, but none of those are ruggedized. You would just be replacing. But Ben's saying there's something with the,
Windows 10 end of life.
Okay, so on these laptops
So they
then,
need
just like the
fixed.
cars, you want to rotate them through. Is there going to be some sort of a program set up for these laptops as they go, or do we keep
So
the same ones?
typically, I try to keep all machines on a 5-year rotation.
A 5-year rotation, and then stay with the same ones or whatever, so that we're all
Yeah, it
the
depends, I
same,
mean, it'll probably be a same essential model, probably an upgraded.
but just whatever the new
version.
technology.
And that's kind of what this is, you know, including in that 90, every 5 years, we'll get new laptops.
Everything, okay, so
Yep.
that's, you got this all factored in and,
Yep.
and the whole thing,
Yep.
okay.
And that eliminates, again, that eliminates the standalone desktop computers we have in our office. It's kind of getting rid of 2 into 1.
All right.
and those are 7, 8 years old. They were put in the same time as the server that Ben ordered and is replacing.
Right.
Okay.
So everything on those desks is
Obsolete.
6 to 8 years old. That was done through
Dell.
Dell Financial. And we did that over, I think we paid for those over 4 or 5 years. Gotta hurry up. Okay, I'm in for everything, but I'd just like to look at the cars a little closer.
You mean for the next, for after July 1?
The 4. See if we can run some more miles out of what we got.
But we don't have any to run.
We're hiring people, hopefully in
We don't have
March,
any
we
to
don't
You're
have
gonna need 1 or
vehicles.
2 cars.
For these new hires? No.
If we hire 4 people, we don't have
We
any
don't have
cars to
anything for
give
them to
them.
drive around. They have nothing to drive. We have nothing for them to drive.
That's why we have bids out right now for
Yeah.
3 more. And I'm willing to
So
give mine out.
everything that you took apart was in service?
We took apart your vehicle.
That was
There was nothing in there. Lindeman's vehicle, the blue Silverado,
shot.
that all I had is the radio.
Yep.
And then that Impala reserve car. That had a radio in it. That's the radios we gotta use for these 3 for the new
Yep.
hires. And then the other 3, Ballman's got 200,000.
Bobbins will need to go.
Damien's that
Damien's
just blew up.
just blew up.
So Damien's driving,
A pickup,
That
somebody's
would be
pickup. and I-
Dimitri's old truck
Okay.
that we had in spare.
Yeah.
That's what,
so that was the spare.
yes.
So not, yeah. So yeah,
So you have no spare.
we have no spare and nothing for the new people to drive. I don't even have a marked vehicle. I had to give mine up. And that's got 140 on it. And I feel like we just got that.
So what, a 20? 21?
I think it's a 19, actually. 19, but I got it in 20. Or it could be a 20, I don't know. It's 5 years old with 140,000 on it.
I'll give you my 2 cents. I'm kinda like Ron, I'm all for the, anywhere from the outfitting to the guns to the cameras, definitely. Next week, you're gonna be in here again for the vehicles. We can get into that.
Can we tell Raycom to go ahead and start building these 3?
Radios?
No,
Or
the
the
3 that are
vehicles?
sitting
Oh,
here.
your
Yeah.
new ones?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we need to
Yeah.
get those on the road.
Yeah,
Okay.
they should be going right now.
Well, you want us to get bids.
We currently don't have money to pay for it, though.
Well,
That's-
with the spending authority, like I'm gonna give extra, we'll make that work and then once next week,
got-
we'll do another one.
And then next week, we can talk about the other 3, but that's gonna replace Ballman's with 200, I mean,
Yep.
You can update your list since you got, the V6 blew up, so you can update your list.
okay.
Because what he's got, I got is not accurate, correct?
I mean, it is.
Well,
Except
they're
for
there,
one
but they're
theory.
dead.
No, we can update it, that's fine.
Yeah. Just update
I'd like to have it sitting in front of me. So
Yeah.
No, we can update
Update
it.
the list, 'cause
And when you see it, you'll understand. We're not just buying vehicles to buy vehicles. We don't have any vehicles.
I understand that.
Yeah,
I get it.
so.
I think the cameras and the computers and all that.
Yeah, I have no problem with that at all.
that's a,
I think that's,
Can we go forward with
And
that?
like, yeah,
that's a good,
Okay.
I think we need to get that.
yeah.
yeah, get that
Like I
rolling.
said, the only question is, as long as they don't charge you a trip charge.
Nope, they're not
Every
going
time they
to.
gotta come down here to do 2 more or 3 more, I have no
Now,
problem.
how about down here, I mean, yeah, we can hold off on the next 3 vehicles, but how about the guns? I mean, those all have a lead time, good to go?
Yeah,
Okay, all right. Yeah, and then next week, we should have all the bids in for the other vehicles,
yeah,
and then we'll get you a list of everything else, and we'll go from there.
yeah.
So what's going, what's going, and away we go.
Right, because we're working on my budget
There
here.
should be a new light bar.
Yes, we pulled that back from Radio Communications. But I don't know if that's gonna work with Ben's stuff.
As for them other 3.
We're gonna see
that are not
about,
Ordered yet.
see if we
We didn't get a
can
price
send that
on
back and get a refund on
G-Tech.
that.
Because a
What it
light
costs
bar's a
outfit.
light bar, basically.
Okay, all right, yep, we
Yeah,
can do
but
that.
Just a phone call.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying,
Yep, doesn't hurt.
We're not gonna buy anything different
Yeah.
than
right.
what you already
All
got.
right?
Well, it's a different
You
company.
should be able
is
to
the
get that
problem.
done by next Tuesday when you come here.
He doesn't care, he
I
doesn't
can have
work with
that.
that company.
Okay,
I would think that they would have
That's all
those
we
numbers
know.
readily available.
yeah.
He,
So,
right, oh, I know.
That's all we know. Well, you might, just on the outside, get a bid from them guys.
Necklace?
Josh, doesn't look like your style.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
We good, gentlemen?
Yeah.
All right,
Good.
thank you.
Yep.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. There's usually not too much.
It shouldn't be too difficult.
Yours is pretty straightforward.
Yes, it is. Same amount.
I did have a couple of questions, because I don't know, I've never seen your budget before.
Correct.
There was a couple things I had questions on. I gotta find you.
Harbor
There you
25.
are.
There you go.
Are we good to go on this one? You do the little part-time temp people occasionally.
That's for cleaning.
Okay. And then your stationery and forms. 14,000, so you've never spent it all, but now we're down to 1,500. Is that a mistake?
No.
Okay. And then the magazines and periodicals it's been nothing, and now we went to 8,000. Am I in the right budget?
Let me see, are you?
Postage and mailing is 8,000.
Yep. Oh, it's on the magazines and periodical line though.
So the postage and mailing needs to be 8,000, not the magazine.
They just got off a line, I bet.
Because then under the postage and mailing, it's been zeroed out on what I have. So they're
Okay.
just off a
That's
line?
not what I have, but
Well,
yeah.
she didn't have it in the Excel form like I do, so I'll switch that around for you.
Okay. So I may be asking you questions that you don't, they don't look the
But
same.
that's good, he caught it.
Right, because we don't have anything in magazines and periodicals.
Okay, so that goes to zero, and the mail goes to 8,000.
Correct.
There was, I had a rent in here somewhere, didn't I? Nope, that's all I had questions on. Everything else pretty much remains the same or went down a little.
Ron covered everything that I had looked at.
Okay. Painless.
I'll send you the report that they're looking at.
Oh.
I think
it's just off the line.
Yep, yep,
That.
Is all it is. I think they're just off the line.
yep.
Okay.
Thanks, Mindy.
While I'm passing things out, we'll try to get started talking at the same time. Secondary Roads has an employee, Jacob Long, who started in August. His 6-month anniversary date is this Friday, the 7th. With union contract, after 6 months, a pay raise goes into effect. So February 7th, Jacob Long would increase to $27.53, and his classification would change to 4B. Got resolution number 25-7 here that addresses those classification and wage.
Do I have a motion?
I'll have a motion to accept Jacob Long.
Second the motion.
Okay, call for a vote by name.
Tippit, aye.
Name and I.
Vols, aye. This is just 2 copies of the same?
Yes, it is.
You need signatures from, no, just one?
All of them.
Sign both of them. I put one in my file, and Haley keeps one for herself.
Okay.
ITC Midwest, transmission line that runs across the entire width of the Benton County, southern part of the county, are looking to upgrade that line, replace the poles and probably upgrade the wires, I'm assuming, but that starts, that line running between, I think it's Marshalltown and just outside of Fairfax in Lynn County affects, I think, 4 counties, but through Benton County, it's gonna cross Highway 21 a mile and a half south of Elbron. Tama County there goes straight east, parallels mile and a half south of the pavement, or what would that be, 2.5 miles? Mile and a half north of 30, mile and a half south of the E44 for 4 miles. Then it goes straight south, 3 miles, and then it parallels Highway 30 a mile and a half south, all the way from there to the Lynn County line. Overhead, it doesn't have much impact on our system at all. It sits up high. I would say it's gonna affect the easement area with the construction. I think they're wanting to construction driveways at all of those crossings to access that on our part. We'll work with them from our department standpoint, but they did submit a utility permit. I was just gonna go ahead and process one today with that location, but their transmission line is really outside of our right-of-way. The only pole in question that I know of that I was gonna ask if they could move about 30 feet east is the one that's on 21st Avenue north of Blairstown. If that one could get a bit farther with the anticipation of doing some work on that road in the future. I think the other ones that all of the crossings to my knowledge are on private easements outside of the right of way.
And that's all stuff they have to do, is the
Correct.
easements and all. Okay.
But I would take a motion to accept the utility permit for ITC Midwest.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Call for a vote.
We don't have a choice, do we? That's my question.
Technically,
No.
no.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I mean, it's an existing easement they've already got and the line that's there and
They're
they're
just
just.
making improvements.
Yeah,
Yeah. so-
Are they making that easement, you probably don't know, wider? Are they,
I've not seen anything in, at least in the paperwork I've got, and I don't have all of it, but
because I know they had meetings like a year and a half ago about that line. And I figured they probably gotta get it wider than what the original easement was. But there again, that,
Mm-hmm,
I dealt with them, so
mm-hmm.
so we got a first and a second, so we got a motion on the floor. Call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Seaman, aye.
Vols, aye.
Well, this looks good, I'm gonna sign it.
Date there, some there.
4, 5.
2, 4, right?
It is now.
Hope so. That's what I put on the resolution.
Here's the board.
There you go.
Thank you. Good. Doug Kearns, who's the shop foreman, I know Ron knows him and Tracy knows him. I don't know if you know that person by name at all, Bruce, but.
Not gonna meet him.
I'm gonna meet him, yeah.
Takes care of the equipment and buildings for secondary roads. Put together a spec sheet for a new motor grader replacing the one at the Keystone Shed. Reached out to Martin Equipment and Altoffer. Martin Equipment dealer takes care of John Deere motor graders, and Altoffer takes care of Caterpillar. We sought a quote for same standard machine that we have gotten in the past, rear-wheel drive. The first two columns on the sheet that you see is the 770G John Deere, that's the rear-wheel drive machine. The 150 Caterpillar machine is the equivalent Cat rear-wheel drive. Asked for basic price for the machine with a new wing and V-plow. Did we, no V-plow, just the wing? Trying to remember, just to make sure I'm talking in case the question comes up, but currently, at the time the bid was solicited and received, John Deere has a premium circle, all enclosed, so you don't have to adjust the shims. We've got that on the last few John Deere machines. Caterpillar, at that point, did not have a premium circle available. And so the price received did not include the same, John Deere offers a premium circle and the standard moldboard. This is a standard moldboard. If you look down farther, you see that for an additional $11,600, you can get the premium circle on a John Deere, which encloses it. It's kind of like an excavator. You don't have to adjust the shims routinely. Caterpillar has been working on a premium circle. At the time this bid was received, that was not an option for us. John Deere offers an extended warranty for 7 years, 7,000 hours, bumper to bumper, basically. Caterpillar likes to include the 7,500 7-year warranty in their bid package. Friday, Altoffer's Caterpillar contacted Benton County and said, we do have a premium circle available now and we'd like to offer it to you. We are not asking for an additional cost, but we'll give you the premium circle. If you look at the bottom of the first two columns, you'll see the cost of the machine plus the premium circle for both a John Deere and a Caterpillar machine. $395,500 for a John Deere machine with a premium circle, $399,891 for a Caterpillar machine with a premium circle, including a 7-year warranty, 7 or 7,500 hours, pretty close to equivalent. We did actually ask for options of going to larger tires. There's some feedback on some operators as to across the state whether larger tires would give you less bounce, easier to maintain, but I'm not sure it's gonna give you the same grip in winter performance. The last two columns are a four-wheel drive model of both the John Deere machine and the Caterpillar machine. And the bottom line would show you the cost of the premium circle with the four-wheel drive option.
But they would both be premium circles?
Premium circles would be the,
Included?
included, with that price. Added cost for a John Deere, and if you went with the Cat, that would be the price including the premium circle based on Friday's phone conversation, and the offer that Altoffers made to Benton County to add to the solicited price, because up until Friday, the premium circle was not an option that was offered by Caterpillar.
Do you use both types of equipment now?
Right now, we have both John Deere motor graders in our fleet and Caterpillar motor graders in our fleet. We do not have a 150. We do have the previous Caterpillar model, a 140 M2s and M3s. The Caterpillar is all joystick driven. The John Deere model has a steering wheel and a joystick. From the steering wheel standpoint, I know that some of the operators like that steering wheel for winter maintenance or running and roading down the road. Caterpillar chose to just go with the joystick model. The cab on the John Deere is a little bit smaller and tighter and less storage space than the Caterpillar does. I was comparing that to currently the Keystone operator is a tall individual, bigger than average size type of deal, but I've got an operator in Garrison right now that's probably similar in stature. John Deere does offer a seat extension that adds some width to their seat that makes it much more usable for those that are bigger body size. The foot room is a little bit tighter lengthwise from in the seat working all day in a John Deere than the Caterpillar. And the John Deere has very little room for your, if any, for your lunch box or extra coat type of deal. It's just a little bit tighter fit. All said and done, looking at things, analyzing things, the warranty is kind of a hit and miss idea, if you had a concern, it's a nice safety cushion there, if it's something that's not been a problem. We've did it off and on over the years on equipment. John Deere's not offering it as the bid price, it's an add-on cost that I did add in so that we're comparing apples to apples, so to speak. Premium Circle is definitely a plus on the mechanic side of things.
What exactly is that?
The rotating thing, where the moldboard fastens to, will loosen up over time. And there's shims on the bottom side of it that every 500 hours you go in and you adjust that, because otherwise you get some free play in the moldboard. You get dust and dirt and snow and ice that collects up underneath that plays into why that does that. It's all sealed up so you don't get the outdoor elements into that circle.
Because you might know, I've never run a motor grader.
Well,
I know
I have,
nothing,
but
I know nothing
I have,
about it.
but you don't want me out there doing the blading that my guys do.
So the guys actually like the cats better, the operators?
I wouldn't necessarily say that.
What,
There are features on both of them that people like, operators like over one, over the other. You know, you might take something from one that likes this on the Caterpillar machine, like something that John Deere offers. The steering wheel, for instance, all of them, I think, that run a John Deere, that may have a cat instinct in their background, say, I like that steering wheel that John Deere has. But the next one also might say, I've got more room to just stretch when I'm in there for 8, 10, 12 hours in the wintertime, that the cat cab offers a little bit more than the John Deere does. The Premium Circle was a plus that I came in probably the last couple years on the John Deere and said, here's something that nobody else offers, and this is a huge benefit from a mechanic standpoint, and eliminates that dirt and snow and other outdoor elements getting in there and causing some problems. Right now, Caterpillar's offering possibly an opportunity that Benton County might not see again, is that the Premium Circle's added at no added additional cost. And between that and the cab size and a large operator, I'm gonna recommend to you that we look at the Caterpillar 150, just the tandem drive for the $399, $891. It's what, $4,400 more than the John Deere equivalent sized machine with the Premium Circle. But I would say keep the warranty that Altoffers and Cat is putting on, and look at the Caterpillar 150.
And that's the first one
That'd
listed.
be the second column.
Okay, yep.
So maintenance wise and everything, they're pretty much,
We have both, you know,
Yeah.
we've got pluses and minuses on both of them.
so,
you
but
know.
it's kind of a wash.
It's a mixed fleet. I don't have a problem having a mixed fleet. Doug will tell you that after COVID, he extremely recommends a mixed fleet, because we had times during COVID when one manufacturer was shut down completely, you couldn't get anything, and if your fleet was exclusively one manufacturer, you were dead in the water. You
I
couldn't
can
do a
remember
thing.
I think you mentioned that at past meetings, I think you mentioned that was kind of a thing.
I mean, our truck fleet is a mixture of Freightliners and Max, and that's where we seen it first. But, you know, same thing could happen on John Deere and Caterpillar, and so you're not, it's probably not 50-50, but we do have a split between, you know, John Deere and
And where's this machine gonna go?
Keystone.
So that's where the bigger fella's at,
Correct.
so he's probably gonna want the larger cab, I would assume.
Having more room is definitely going to benefit to him. I know that the Garrison operator is of similar size, runs a John Deere. We got the seat extension, so the width is suitable. He's got the seat as far back as he can get it. It works. He would prefer a little bit more leg room if possible, but that's as far as you're going to get that seat to go back. But definitely likes the steering wheel for winging snow back. But every operator I've got that's used to running the old motor graders with the levers on top are all the industry has switched to joysticks. So it's a matter of everyone's gonna learn how to use joysticks anyway. And there's a learning curve there. It's not an overnight.
So now, let's say this goes to the fella in Keystone, how long does this machine last?
Right now, Doug's got all of our motor graders in the main fleet on a 15-year rotation.
Okay, so I mean, this guy will basically run this machine from start to finish. And his choice is?
I think his choice would probably be Caterpillar.
Okay.
I hesitate at some time. I think it's beneficial to get operator input, but operators do change, you know, and you
Sure.
change one operator may be very instilled with one brand over another, and that can change, you know. If this price difference was $20,000 difference, you'd hear me tell you to buy the John Deere, which is where everything was prior to Friday. But Friday, the Premium Circle became an equivalent comparison at no additional cost to Benton County. I'm certain there's a cost, and I know there's a cost to the Premium Circle, but on this particular machine, it was being offered at no additional cost to what was quoted.
Delivery on this is how far?
You'll be looking 22 to 25 weeks. So as soon as that, so you're looking
It's gotten,
July, early July.
it's gotten better than what it was a couple years ago, but this is a 26 purchase, I believe.
Okay.
I know if John Deere got it to us quicker, we would have just, probably, they would have offered, rent-own applied to the purchase once they delivered it, because it would be a 26, budget number.
So, and this is something that you got in your budget?
Correct. As well as what's being submitted. You can say our trucks and our heavy-duty trucks and our motor graders are far enough out that we're almost planning, similar to what probably Dave's talking about with some of your law enforcement stuff, you know, that Bearcat type of deal, you know? You're talking future fiscal years where the actual money's gonna go, but you gotta order it now because it takes a while for some of that stuff to get done. And
This is a brand new captain, right?
brand new machine.
And the oil fillers are on both sides of the motor, not like the John Deere's?
For the actual engine itself, yes.
Don't know what that means, but okay.
John Deere's are on one side,
Okay,
everything. Fuel fillers, oil fillers, air cleaner.
back thing,
Service
good
it
thing,
on one thing.
just the way it is.
But everything's pretty easily accessible on this newer equipment that open the doors up and they're right there at ground level versus having to crawl up on.
And you're recommending the Caterpillar.
I am recommending the Caterpillar.
I would make a motion to take the engineer's recommendation on the Caterpillar motor grader.
Yes. Second that.
Call for a vote.
Tippit, aye.
Team and I.
Goals.
How about the second one?
Second column.
That sounds like a, just, you know, I don't know anything about a
You
motor.
know, 13 years there. Then with, as we replace them, depending on how the machine has performed over that initial time frame, do you keep it as the spare or do you trade it off? We've done both, you know. I say 15 years, probably more, because realistically, that's gonna be about the time frame between.
What do you get trade in on then? Like the one you're gonna trade in?
We've, I don't know, $40,000 we've gotten
So you still get a
on
little
public
something.
surplus,
Yeah.
I think.
They don't trade them in, they sell them.
We've been
Okay,
selling
through that
money.
website?
Yeah.
Using the
Okay.
public surplus website,
I
to
know.
get a better deal, selling them outright than trade them back into the dealership.
Okay.
Did you take a vote on that, or did you just make a motion?
We motion.
I didn't vote.
Tippit,
We didn't
aye.
vote?
I didn't think so, that's why I was just asking.
Okay, we'll vote again.
Tippit, aye.
Team and I.
Goals.
Well, Haley doesn't say, she wrote it
I
down.
didn't write it down, so.
We voted twice.
I can go back and look at the film, but
Just one.
That's all I have.
I have one question.
Sure.
And I don't know where this goes. There's a refrigerator in the ditch on the corner, the southwest corner, a mile or 1 mile south of Highway 30 on the road in Norway. From Hope, south of Hope's. It's the second corner, southwest corner. I noticed that yesterday. My wife says, look, there's a fridge in the ditch. And it's not the narrow, it's not a shallow ditch.
Must have missed that, Bruce, because I travel about the same route you travel.
Yeah.
Off and on back here, so.
Yeah, I just happened to see it yesterday.
Are you
so-
at your resolution?
Yes, and I left you a picture before I quick leave. That was a picture taken at the Shellsburg Recycling drop-off site. Just want you to be familiar with what some residents, I would almost say probably an individual, chose to either not take the time to stick it in the container, or whether the container might have been full and didn't still want to take the time to do that. But that's probably our most problem area, and trying to come up with a possible solution there. I don't know if a camera was put up, whether the county is willing to prosecute those that can be identified as individuals using it improperly or not, but that's very frustrating when we have to deal with that at that site.
That's too bad.
The dumpster wasn't full, right?
I'm not sure if it, I know that one doesn't get cardboard received compressed by the homeowner as well as some others. I say that because I view the weight. It's hard to measure those containers from a volume standpoint, but I get a weight report and a bill from the recycler, and there's enough times where it doesn't appear to be as heavy as some of the other containers, so I don't think that they're getting flattened before they go there. Obviously, you can see those haven't been flattened, but there was no effort made to even flatten them or bring them flattened. They just got dumped.
Yeah, we dumped those.
Okay.
But that was just recent, and I wanted you to be able to see what we confronted there at that location.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Byron.
Hey, where's this one at?
Shellsburg.
Shellsburg.
It's out of town there.
Somebody's got a problem. They drink a lot of Pepsi. Drink a lot of Pepsi.
It just-
I was gonna say, boy, oh boy.
They're hard on
Oh.
You are? You're the treasurer.
Yeah.
Department 3. I just reprinted hers too. Did you get that second?
Update treasurer.
Yeah.
Yep, got it.
I forgot to print the revenue sheet.
Did you update that one too?
No.
Oh, I already printed that one.
No, I forgot to print it off with mine when I printed off the other one. I kinda know what it is.
Are we going? Temp, part-time, extra help.
That has been in there since before I took over. I guess it's there in case we ever need to hire extra help, which I did say, when I was sitting out here, I was thinking about it, I was like, I can lower that. I don't wanna take it out totally though.
I understand that.
I thought about taking it down to 10. Would that be okay? You think?
You haven't used it.
No, I haven't used it.
Yeah.
But I wanna leave it in there just in case, now that sometimes people get sick and they're gone for extended times, if I have to hire somebody to come in and, but I'll lower that down to 10.
And then. Well, I don't have a question on the postage and mailing.
I'll make those changes while you guys are
Okay.
talking.
That's the second one.
And then you have the salaries are broke out into, once, the top number is you and,
On my area.
yeah,
For that is me, and then the other one's my first deputy.
so it's you and Rose.
Yeah.
And then the other people are down here under,
So the top one, the top salaries will be, the very top line, the 8,100 is Joy, Jody, and Jake.
okay, so they're,
They're by, okay.
Okay.
areas.
okay.
And then Aaron and Beth are the 8101. They're the driver's license area.
And then who is in the middle? 8101, 100, 933.
That's,
It's 116,506.
which one is it? 81, my helps if I get in the right area.
Service area
8101, what was what did you say the number was?
You looking at the?
100, 933.
933, that is Aaron and Beth.
Aaron and Beth.
And down below was Gary, my drive examiner. The 934 is Gary. Which he may be done at the end of the fiscal year, but
Because then down at the bottom is the 9020.
that's me and then Rose.
Okay, so that's you and Rose.
Right.
Can't be, it's just gotta be you.
Well, there's
You
two
and
lines.
then Rose,
Yeah,
okay.
me and then Rose, yeah.
And then the very top one,
The very top one will have the three, will have Joy, Jody, and Jake,
and that's the,
8100.
yep. I knew you had them broke out, but I didn't know how.
Yeah.
And then right underneath, Aaron and Beth.
Yeah, that was Gary, our drive examiner.
Okay, so that, because I see that one went down.
It did because I don't know how long he has stated that he may be done. Aaron's getting certified to take that into her job description, so I won't have to hire anybody.
Okay,
Just absorb it.
Yeah. Yep. She's just waiting for her final stuff from the state.
I saw nothing else on yours.
And our revenues hopefully are gonna increase because, last month was the first month we, got all our extra fees from the DOT, so. That's gonna start. That was hard to judge for my revenue, because I just went with half of what I thought it might be.
See, you always want to estimate high on the expenses and low on revenue, right? The way that's the way I was always.
Yeah, I
told.
did, and it's just like our interest right now, we've got a lot, we're doing really good with interest, but I hate to increase it, because I don't know, like with the CDs, as they come due, if the
What
rates
it's
are
gonna
gonna
be.
stay up.
Right,
So I did increase it some, just not as much as I probably could have.
You got any questions, Bruce?
No,
I have no more questions, thank you.
And Haley, you go with that one? Okay,
Definitely changed.
yeah, that's it, yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Linda.
All right, good job. Hello.
you're closer.
Hello. And that is the recorder. All right. See how I pick up on those things?
Good job, Ron. I always hand this out for you guys, just because I know you'll love it every year.
Because you can. Thank you.
At least you're the one that can make revenue, right?
Yeah, we do.
Thank you very much.
So just looking at your first, this piece, the modernizing the records, so that is,
Yeah, I don't know if you've heard of that.
I have.
Okay.
I think you spoke about it the other day. So those, your rates are set by the state.
Haven't changed since 1985.
I see that.
So, it's in legislation right now. I did not figure the increase into my budget because obviously we don't know if it's gonna pass, hoping that it will. But those, the highlighted areas there are kind of by our county on what the increase would be if we did go to $10 a page. So,
And is that still a portion of that goes to the auditor too, right?
your auditor fee isn't increasing.
It's staying
It's staying
$5.
$5, yeah.
Yeah, so everything that gets recorded, I get $5 off of it too.
Yeah, Haley gets $5 for every deed.
Nice.
Not the mortgages, but like the deeds and stuff. And then we get, the Recorder's Management Fund, right now gets $1 per document. And they're gonna increase that to $2 a document. And then that's the fund where I can use to like preserve my books. And it's money that stays only for my office use. And then the rest goes into the general fund.
How well does the state pay you for a hunting license and stuff nowadays?
50 cents
Oh,
a
so it's-
license.
From when my
That's a
folks did it, it's doubled.
Uh-huh,
They
yeah,
got a quarter.
yeah, 50 cents.
What are the guys that sell those, the gas stations and whatever, what do they get for?
Theirs depends. I mean, they might be a little more than us.
Maybe, okay.
I think they are.
So I didn't know, I mean, because
Like
is
maybe
it worth their while?
75 cents. I know, I don't know what their volume
Doesn't seem-
is.
I
yeah.
think it's more of the convenience and somebody
It's
shopping.
convenient.
Get somebody in there and, you know, whatever.
And then they can do it online through the DNR, and of
Right.
course, their fee is like $1.25, you know,
Mhm.
more, but.
You know, I think you're right. Seems like I got a fishing license in Guttenberg and it costs me $1.25 or $1.50.
I've got the lifetime now, man, I'm sad. I like that.
But I will say, we get a lot of people that will go to those other places that sell them, and they'll come into my office and say, I just need you to do this. They don't know how. I'm like, sure, come on in.
So in your budget, the top line is you, all the
Yes,
wages,
correct,
and then your two ladies.
correct.
I saw your mileage is double.
And travel. I did increase that. I'm starting to take my deputy with me
Okay,
to spring and fall school
okay.
and to meetings, because I am getting to that age where maybe one of these
Hey,
days.
you know what, it's always good to have somebody else that knows what's going on.
And since we're a small office, you know,
Yeah.
yeah, she needs to really know what's going on, so.
Well, that makes sense.
That's all the questions I have. Your sheet,
Yeah, this-
that's a big increase. Well, it'll almost double.
Yeah, and then this little one that I highlight always is what we bring in for the county and what goes out to the state
Mhm.
every year, so. Broken down by, our fees and what we do, so.
How's our postal service losing money? Because man, the fees that we're paying for that stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, I think we're supporting the state of Iowa alone with the postage and mail.
Well, our passports, every envelope we send out, it's $10.10 now.
Wow.
And
Let's
we,
not get started on election postage.
yeah,
Yeah, I know.
It's a
I know.
lot.
That's like we put somebody in bad mood.
That is,
but, yeah, and then you can kind of tell like what we do for the passports across there too, so it's a good.
How much of that, you get to keep a portion of those too?
Yep, we get to keep, $50 per application. We charge 15 for pictures and 35 for the processing.
We get to keep it with
Mm-hmm.
them. And they can come here from out of county too to do those.
Oh, yeah. Mhm. And we do have a lot of people that don't like to wait in line in Lynn County or Blackhawk County, and they'll come to bid.
So your budget's going up technically 7,600 higher than last year?
I believe that's what it's added up to.
Okay.
Mhm. And basically, I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's the places that, obviously postage, mileage,
Yep.
educational training, those areas there. And hopefully this
And if we get you passed,
modernization will pass and
yeah.
that'll be a
bring in
nice,
Double,
mm-hmm.
yep.
Would that take place July 1, if it does?
Potentially could, probably. Mm-hmm. I mean, Iowa Land Records is all kind of ready to go once
Once they just get the,
it gets, yeah,
yeah.
gets passed.
I'd say that needs updated. 1985 was the last time it was
1985.
done.
Wow, it's been a while. I don't see anything, I don't have any questions other than
I
that.
did not. Oh, I did too. I've got a question mark.
Oh,
No, I don't. I just went
Are you
halfway.
sure?
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
I am. It was health insurance and I thought, and then I looked again, thought, okay, we're halfway through the year. So I do not have a question.
Okay.
Thanks, Lex.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
Two.
Oh, no, this guy.
Hey, we are doing the meeting tonight, Anna said.
What's that?
There is a meeting tonight,
6.
but I don't know why there hasn't been a agenda. Because Mindy, I'm not the secretary. Doesn't that sound fun? I plan on going.
I'll be there. 6 o'clock? Okay.
We'll wait till he comes back in.
You bet. Hi, Mark.
I might take a restroom break too.
I like your stuff you put in there
Oh,
for
did
us.
she make copies of that for you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
It was very info, showed things very, very easily. Josh Carson wouldn't claim it, but it was in his chair. Does that look like a Barb Green? Did Barb? No, she didn't sit up here.
He pulled the chair over, it was on, in the seat that Barb was sitting on.
Might be
I
Barb's.
don't know if it's hers, but it was on
It
hers.
could be Barb's.
No snow yet.
You know, on my way
Don't say that.
around town this morning, the weatherman said freezing rain tomorrow.
yeah, we already got a notice from the school that they're hoping it comes, because early dismissal on Wednesdays, they're hoping that it happens after that.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nice.
That'd be really,
I would want nothing to do with
no.
a busload of kids on an icy road.
It's not fun,
Oh,
but they do tend to be quiet. They get a little scared.
oof.
It's like, all right.
I don't think that, well, like your people, I don't think that's something I'd be in for. Hauling a busload of people around
Right.
in the ice. That's not something I'd wanna do. Kinda like driving a road grader. Nothing I've ever done.
I think it'd be fun, but I don't think it'd be very good.
No. I have not a clue how it's done. I have seen the machines that have the joystick and the steering wheel in them. And the guy said, you get tired of running the joysticks, you can switch to the steering wheel. If you get tired of the steering wheel, you can switch it to the joysticks and.
Okay, Mark. If you don't mind, for your benefit, I'll give a few highlights first. Okay, Bruce maybe doesn't know much about our program, and
Not as much as these guys, I'm sure.
so just a few things, just to give you an idea. We have 2 full-time employees in addition to myself. One's a driver full-time, and then office dispatch and assistant. We also have 15 part-time drivers, which 5 are in Belle Plaine and 10 out of Benton. We operate 13 vehicles with a combination of minivans and buses, handicap accessible, and they seat up to 18 passengers. With the 2 minivans and 2 buses are in Belle Plaine, the rest are in Vinton. Some of our stats, and I shared these with the employee meeting for last fiscal year. We gave rides to over 16,000 residents of Benton County, including disabled riders totaling over 200,000 miles. We also provide a driver and a vehicle 6 days a week to distribute 23,000 hot meals through the Vinton Haycap and also Belle Plaine. And then this year, the first half of this fiscal year, we're on track basically to be about the same as last year. We've provided about 8,000 rides to residents, and we've logged about 100,000 miles so far the first 6 months. So on track to be about the same this year. And that's just kind of a quick overview of our operation. And I think just I'll make one other note that, you know, transportation it really is a big deal. Just to give you an example, you know, some of it's kind of priceless. Yesterday we had a situation where we transported an 83-year-old male from Vinton to LaPorte to visit with his daughter that's terminally ill for an hour. So we do a lot of variety of things, and I don't think you can put a price on it.
So your temp and part-time wages and your extra help and everything, that's everybody in one?
That's just all part-time.
But that's here and Belle Plaine?
Yes.
So you don't separate those out?
Correct.
Excuse me.
That fuel's just a guess, my goodness.
Yeah, I kind of talked to secondary, I talked to secondary roads a little bit, and every indication they had was that it would be the same or maybe lower.
Okay.
I mean, we can hope for that.
I thought, geez, do we need to put more money in there? Because I thought it's such a guess,
Yeah.
because we have no idea where it's going.
And based on our usage, I think we'll be all right.
So, I saw an increase in the minor motor vehicle parts from 5 to 18,000. We got an older fleet that you're waiting to replace?
I'm not sure.
3,400, 254,000. Because it had been up as high as 25,000.
Last year it was 20,
Yeah. Oh,
so maybe you're looking at a different line. I actually took
mine got
2,000
it
off
as
of that.
5,000
Which one?
last year.
That was
Defined budgets?
re-estimated for
Yeah.
this year.
Okay, so you actually went down 2,000.
Yep, yep.
The only thing I got a question on, the bottom 2 lines. Vehicle and equipment, 20,000.
Yes.
What's that for?
Any kind of maintenance.
Maintenance? Okay,
Yeah.
oil changes and stuff like that.
Yep.
Okay, and then building and ground maintenance, 15,000. What,
So there was 30,000 in there originally. I think Dean put that in there for the concrete, and then ARPA's gonna cover that. That's why I cut that in half, because we won't be paying for concrete over there. So the 15,000 just, with that building being so new,
So you won't need that, will ya?
I left a little bit in there just in case something happened,
Okay,
you know, with equipment.
okay.
You know, if a
What-
furnace or something goes out, or you never know.
What
Air
do
conditioning.
you have for snow removal equipment over there?
We don't have any equipment for snow removal.
Do we,
Martyrs do that.
Martyrs do
The same
it?
as here, yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if we needed a piece of equipment to do that, or, Okay,
Need more manpower.
there's your new vehicle that's a year out.
Yep, 2 of them.
Yep. Still a year away on those,
Yeah, just got them ordered a month ago, so
so we're a year away yet.
1.5 to 2, yeah.
That kills me.
I keep hearing
That's
that
nuts.
for that type chassis he wants, Amazon's got them all tied up.
Is that where that's going?
Yep, that's where they're all going, is to Amazon.
It's a good thing Amazon isn't in the road grader business, or would be.
Yeah, we'd never get a road grader.
But your budget's going up 241,000, that looks.
Should be.
Did I read it wrong?
It should be down about 5,000.
Really?
Yeah.
754, 274 to 749, 023. Yeah, he went down a little.
You're right. You went down about 5,000.
I looked at the wrong line.
Okay.
I looked at the wrong line.
I say you surprised me
I
there.
was gonna say, I said, wait a minute, I'm not seeing that. Okay.
So if everything stays on track with our revenue, we should be ahead this year.
Yeah, that's all the questions I got.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't see.
I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Didn't see anything.
Good.
Best of luck on that. Vehicles getting,
Vehicles, yeah.
that is just crazy.
Holy cow.
They're ahead of the game.
I'm just really good at scheduling.
Yes, you are.
Nailed it.
That's good.
I never find a county
I
attorney.
printed you a new conservation one.
Yeah.
Yep. We did get off a few lines, didn't we?
Yeah. Thank you. I was like, oh no.
Well, actually, I think Bruce found that one, didn't you?
I was like, no, those aren't the right ones.
I looked at
All the
that.
right numbers in the wrong spot.
Boy, oh boy. I thought maybe I needed to adjust my contacts or something.
That's what I was, when I import them, I make everybody look at them again.
Yeah. Time's the charm.
So this one I'm gonna get rid of.
Did you see that other spreadsheet I sent you?
Oh, I forgot to reply.
That's fine.
It's all good except one.
Okay.
The insulation one isn't ours.
Oh, we go on there and look.
Cece double checked it all today.
Oh, the sallow?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go back and see who that one was. That one actually might be the maintenance.
Shelby, we'll just get started earlier.
Oh, she brought back up.
Oh, yeah. Always.
These shoes back.
Yeah, that looked better.
Yeah. A couple of my highlights are like, whoa.
I know.
okay, there
When I
we go.
saw it, I was like, yeah, no wonder that looked wrong. On conservations right now?
All right, now if I can get on the right one here. Oh, yeah. There you go. Updated conservation.
Yeah.
Very first line is you.
Yes.
Next line is,
Me. Office coordinator, Cecilia.
Cece. All right.
Engineering services,
Yep.
there's a big increase in that.
Mm-hmm. Huge increase.
Yeah, what can you,
Absolutely.
please?
So a huge dilemma that we've been running into is we're starting our infrastructure projects, you know, our 1950s and 60s campgrounds and stuff. And everything requires engineering, and that is one thing that is darn near impossible to get for grants.
Oh,
So if we don't have something to put forward off the bat, for instance, the enclosed shelter at Rogers that we're hoping to get done sooner than later, we need to have it engineered, especially because we're gonna, you know, be renting it
If
out.
it's all public to use in the whole catastrophe.
Yeah, it's not just throwing up a little pole barn,
Right.
you know, behind your garage kind of situation, so.
And it's not gonna get better.
No, exactly, yep, so we just need to get ahead of it.
Okay.
Wages under 6110.
Mm-hmm,
So I'm on page 2.
Yep. I'm with you.
The first one, who does that cover?
The deputies, that one?
Okay, so that's Hannon.
Oh, the first one's South Unit, that's
So
him.
that's Cam.
Yep. He's just jumping in
And the next one is the Rogers.
here. Yep,
And the next one is the River Parks.
mm-hmm.
And then,
And then that's all 3 conservation technicians,
okay, is under the
maintenance.
3 techs.
Mm-hmm. They're all together.
And then the last line is your summer help,
Yep. And winter, and, you know, the part-timers.
the extra help, part-time. Okay? How do you feel we're doing on wages to retain those folks?
I think we're starting to get somewhat competitive. It has been a struggle to get there, especially when they're already driving 45 minutes to get to work, and they could drive a half an hour another direction and make $4 more an hour, you know? so-
Have we done a wage comparison?
We look at it every year. We're in a weird spot because if we take our biggest neighbors, we're looking at Blackhawk, Lynn, and Johnson. You know, they all touch the county and they all make substantially more than we do. But then we also have Buchanan and Iowa and Tama that are a little bit lower than us. So we're just trying to walk the line of being competitive. And we're never gonna be able to, you know, be Lynn or Blackhawk, but there's nothing saying we can't be chasing them, you know? So
Sure.
that's the
Okay.
goal. Would I like to?
And I know that you and I had talked previously. And
Yeah.
I said,
Retention's huge.
we gotta retain these people.
And, I mean, if it comes to, you know, if we could afford to do more, we absolutely will. Like, I would rather put more into that and the retention from the trainings and them getting to know the community and, I don't know, just them becoming part of the community and all the work that they're doing, you know, making that name for themselves is everything in conservation and, you know, getting that grant funding, getting public support, the donations that have come in because of this team is unreal, so, yeah.
On the buildings, grounds and maintenance,
Mhm.
does that tie in with the upgrading the facilities? Is that why? Because earlier, I mean, it's like in 22 and 3, it was 3,000 with 3,100 outlay and then it jumped up. But so far,
Where are you at on that one?
I'm on the very top of page 2.
Okay.
Second line in. Year-to-date activity, 24 to 5 is $345.
Building grounds and maintenance.
Second line down.
Which line item, could you give me the 611044?
10,000.
100, okay.
Yeah. They say you had budgeted 27,000, but year-to-date activities, 345.
What? I'm not seeing this one.
Looks like 23, 24 was the big year at 10,000.
Oh, that's.
Are you looking at
oh.
441852?
Just 441 and all zeros.
Yeah.
Buildings and grounds maintenance.
Second one down from the top.
I do not have this.
It's right below vehicle maintenance,
Mm-hmm,
6110.
yeah.
Is that a misprint where the year-to-date activities, 345.64?
Yeah, year-to-date activity, I am not seeing the same.
Ours is printed 228.
Oh, no, that's not, definitely not. So here's, this is our biggest, so this is all our infrastructure projects.
Okay.
So
Okay,
that's
yeah,
what we're
so
looking
this
at
one,
right- Everything's right, y'all, it's fine.
Are we on the third page now?
I don't know where you guys are.
I
I'm
was
staying
just-
out of it.
I was just looking at the fuel, thinking it's a crapshoot.
Mhm.
So
What page is that? Two
that's
yet?
on page 2,
Yes, towards the bottom.
fourth one from the bottom. What's the electrical supplies? And that's on up, that's 216. 6110-216. I had a question mark by it.
Yeah, that's group camp stuff at Rogers upgrading,
Okay.
Benton City, you know, just different projects we have going on like that. And then if we buy a lot of breakers and pedestal repair stuff out of that line item.
I assume it gets unfortunately run over from time to time.
Yeah.
The people, their backing skills are not up to grade.
Mhm. So that's one that you just never know,
Okay.
yeah.
Uh, 6110-630, all zeros, page 3.
Yep, so that's we went on replace a mower for the nature center, get a trailer, different things like that, like the bigger equipment.
Okay, because I see it, last year we went 23, 24. We went over just a touch and then you,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Trying to make that more realistic and usable line item.
Top of page 4, who's our salary, who's that one?
Those would be our naturalists.
Okay,
2 of them.
and how are you doing there on wages?
Okay.
Competitive?
Huh?
Competitive for our population?
Again, I feel like we could be doing better, but I'm always gonna advocate for that. I think, like I said earlier, everyone on staff, I think, needs just a bit more, but you're not gonna hear me say that they need less, that's for sure.
I would hope not. And there was a big one somewhere. Find my old sheets.
The land acquisition, are you planning
Yes.
for that one?
is that?
That's a big drop.
That's
Yeah,
fund 1600.
That's at the very end.
Yeah, from 1 million
Yeah.
Well,
So-
that-
down to 200,000.
That's one of them in the amendment today, you heard us reducing
Mhm.
some, that was
Okay.
that.
Yeah, so the only reason it was 1 million is so we could pass the grants through, depending on what we got.
Depending upon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta put it in there.
Right, it was kind of,
Yeah.
Okay.
and now we'll be submitting that for reimbursement too, so that's, should be.
But that way, we reduced it now because we knew we weren't gonna.
Yeah.
To do it, right. Yep.
But, because if you're planning for more land acquisition, then I gotta plan for a transfer.
Right, right. And we're not planning for more, it's just, we've always just had 100,000 in there, just as like a placeholder, a match for a grant, something comes up, whatever it be, so,
And
Yeah,
that's
you
where
gotta
I
have
put
it in
that
there.
transfer in, but it's a transfer only as needed.
yes,
Okay,
We don't do it unless we absolutely have to.
gotcha.
yeah.
Very good.
So that you're aware of, there's nothing coming for next year.
Not right now.
Unfortunately, that's not
Nothing's
how that
come-
works.
Nothing's come up
Mm-mm.
that you're aware of.
No. To be fair, I didn't know about any other ones either.
So your budget technically has gone down then,
Um,
am I reading this right?
well, because of the $1 million one,
Mm-hmm.
it makes
Reduce
it
that
look
one.
really good because of that. If you take that out, it's actually gone, the general has gone up.
But those won't reflect today's journal entries yet.
Yeah.
What you're looking at.
Well, I mean, you were going by 23, 24 budget.
Right, again, then you have to count like all the grants and stuff that we've gotten. Like, I'm sure we'll be in contact with Haley in October and we'll have a budget amendment because we're gonna get grants, so that'll show our budget going up again for pass-through. And then, so that's why it's, but we,
Do we have any idea which ones those would be if we just
no idea.
granted putting it in there? Okay.
If, I mean, depending on who you ask, I might get asked to be like, can you just pump the brakes on some of these projects so we can just.
Well, and most of the ARPA ones, projects are done, right?
Mhm.
So a lot of hers, I know you weren't always here, but the ARPA funds,
Mhm.
Shelby did a lot of, if you want to touch base on some of that, what you did with
Yeah.
ARPA.
We put in like a septic, shower house, and water lines and whatnot at Wildcat, which was, never had water before. And that was like, the original whole point of ARPA funding was, for COVID relief. And, we did a parking lot at the Edna Shane Fed, and part of that. And then we did, some well work at Rogers Park and got our wells up to DNR code.
Oh, that's
Which
good.
is good.
Yeah, we always want to stay on top of that.
Yeah, it's been a process. ARPA really helped us out on the water side of things, and, I'm trying to think, that was pretty much the three main ones, right? Yes, and a conservation patrol vehicle. That was the best use of ARPA
And then
money.
the equipment for it too, right? Was that one two different ones? Because you got equipment for that vehicle too, right?
Yeah, it was fully outfitted. Mhm.
I was just updating my spreadsheet on ARPA, and we were going back and forth, so.
Yes.
So on the general basic, you went up, is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
No, you're saying no, Tracy? Just in the general, not anything else. The rest of it drops.
Drops, yeah.
Yeah, the general went up from 1,263,000 to 1,327,000.
Be page 8. It's an
Yep.
easy way to see it. But everything else went down or stayed the same.
So your budget went up then, evidently.
Yeah.
And she went up in general basic and down in general sub.
And then way down in conservation land, but like we talked about, that's
Yes.
the pass-through stuff, so.
And then do you want to explain a little bit on that Carolyn Sue Donovan too?
Yeah, so the Carol Sue Donovan, that's that very last line item, 3,000 on page 8. That is essentially spending authority for a donation that was given to conservation years ago.
and we can spend off the interest for anything that we really need in the parks. There's a few stipulations, but that the county holds that money. So essentially, it's just, we need to make sure we have it in the line item for spending. There's, more than that in interest, but it's just, we try to build in any potential for that. And we do have some coming out of that, actually, this next claim cycle, so.
But, excuse me, as for the 100,000, that's your very last, second last page.
The 50 up to 100?
Carol, the land accusation, you're not planning on buying any more ground, correct?
The one that's dropped? Right, I mean, like, that's, we're not out shopping.
200,000.
The one that's, it's a 200, yep. So we're not out shopping. Part of that is also the building line item. So if you go to page 5, is that one you're on?
Right,
And so that's our infrastructure projects.
and you're not planning on building anything either except,
Enclosed shelter and doing that project, yeah, that's a big one, that's on our list. So if we do spend out of that, that would be coming out of this, hopefully with some grant funding, maybe with a sale of a property if it goes through,
So then my next question is, maybe between you and Haley, you don't spend it, come July 1, it's gone. Or are you planning on carrying that over?
Right, it's kind of like what we did with the hand and shop, the carryover.
So you're gonna carry it over?
Yes.
So,
That's why
in other
it's
words, if we
50 to
got
100.
100,000 for the land acquisition, next year, if you don't spend it, you'll have 200,000 in there, right?
So for the land acquisition, we did that for building.
Unless you had a project in mind, we did it for the Hannah building, because then they didn't
Right.
have the work done, and then they put the full.
So if someone comes to us and says like, hey, in 6 years, we plan on giving you a bargain sale on this property, come check it out, it'd be awesome, whatever else, I guess we could start doing that with the land acquisition, absolutely.
Okay, but otherwise
But
it
we're-
disappears if you don't use it.
That's how we've been doing it.
Yep, because right now the
Okay.
fund balance is at 0.
I just want
But
that.
the land building one is the same, we were gonna do the same thing, that was the agreement after the Hannon shop. Hey, wait, why don't we be doing this for all infrastructure projects? Just put 50,000 away every year, because it costs a lot to put up stuff. I don't know why they're both called land, it's just the title of it, but.
So you're still putting 50,000 away then?
Yes.
See,
Put
that's
away
not-
more if you want.
That's not a levied fund, that's why we have to do the transfer from general basic.
What page is that?
Page 5.
Yep.
It's the last two. That's what's confusing, it's under land. So if you just look at land total, it looks like it's all for, like, if you didn't know how the budget,
Yeah,
you know.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so one is
Yep.
specifically building, that's our infrastructure project line
That's the
item.
one
So
there.
you got,
Okay.
it'll be 100,000 there already?
Yes. Yeah, the Hannon shop's been done that long, can you believe it? It doesn't feel like it.
Okay. But like I said, I still wanna get this through my head.
Okay.
100,000 for the land acquisition, that will disappear.
Right, because
You
like,
don't use it.
yeah, because that one stays at 0 unless,
Well, you got it at 100,000.
sorry, on Haley's side, it stays at 0. So it will just wipe out and then.
She's showing it for spending authority.
Mhm.
So, just for example, she was in here a few weeks ago, and so I went ahead and did the transfer of lands into the transfer from general basic into land acquisition, and then she's gonna get reimbursed from that other grant. But right now, that fund itself, Fund 1600, has a 0 balance.
Okay.
She's just putting the spending authority in just in case, but again, that does not affect the levies. That particular fund does not, other than the transfer out of general basic. And I
But
have
it's
to,
also figured in on their total budget, right?
yes.
Well, yeah, that's what it looks
And I
like.
have to show it under the transfer funds, and then when you guys do a resolution, you're granting authority for me within the fiscal year to transfer that when needed, if needed. But otherwise, we don't transfer.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. You guys, got any more questions?
I do not.
No,
All right.
I think we picked it apart.
Good.
Eric, I think you're next. Don't that sound fun?
It does.
You didn't bring backup.
We're on the
You got
same
both of
team.
them
Roll
now.
your chair over here, Eric. We just expand, that's it.
Okay. Well, you didn't bring anybody new to the table. Very first line, who comes out of that one, out of the salaries of everybody?
Eric, myself, Cecilia, and Zach.
Okay. Let me look at these old ones, see if I had question marks anywhere.
You don't have none for fuel.
Oh. Right, so that, if you look at, that's 6010.
Uh-huh.
So that's essentially the weed commission section, which is primarily what Eric falls under. The rest of the department switches to 7140, so you'll see fuel under there.
Oh,
There it is.
Switches.
11.5.
Where you at?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've got, so the IPERS covers your, on that first page, your IPERS, Medicare, Medicaid, health insurance.
Mhm.
That
That's
covers
the manager.
wages up top.
Mhm.
And then on the next page, or at the bottom of this
Yep.
page, you've got,
The 2 roadside technicians.
okay,
And then the next one is seasonals. And then all their benefits follow that immediately, so that's how it's broke out with the 2.
okay.
So one's weed and one's IRM, even though they're,
Does the next ones come out of the 7140?
yes.
We on page 2,
Sure.
Yes.
everybody? Okay, chemicals and gas, 72,000. Now, when you took over that department, there was a lot of chemicals there yet. How you coming on that? I mean, how much old stock is still there yet?
Not much. We used
Really?
up quite a bit, yeah. There's about 4 pallets of the old stuff, but as soon as we fill up our trucks in the spring, that'll pretty much be gone, so.
Okay,
And we'll be into the stuff that I bought right before July last year.
okay.
And then also this next year, when we get these new trucks, there's gonna be another tank on the back with more of a brush mix. So we can, hit some of that stuff a little harder to hopefully keep ahead of it.
Now, right now, there's 2 of you and another guy in your department, that's it, right?
Yeah, we're doing interviews Friday for
Okay.
more.
My question was that I know some of the secondary roads have been driving around chopping trees now the last couple of weeks.
Mhm.
Have you been helping them at all?
Yes.
Or they're kinda, seems like to me in my area, they're double teaming. They get one pickup and
Mhm.
the 2 guys are together and,
Yeah,
for
we,
safety reasons, but I mean, I didn't know if all of the 13 maintainers around here, if there was one that doesn't get along with everybody else, do you step in and ride with him, or?
We've kind of been doing it where it's just me and Ethan. I mean, there might be people with us, but we were out in the bucket truck. I don't know, I was out in there a little over a week, maybe 2 weeks worth. And he was kind of helping me, and then behind us had the great all, they were moving brush. So, I mean, we're working together, but you're not necessarily in teams or whatnot, but yeah, I haven't had any issue getting along with any of them.
Once again, we'll hope you got the fuels just a gas.
The hydro seeding, does that got to come out of your pocket or Myron's?
It comes out of ours.
And how you setting with that?
Pretty good. So we still get a grant for our seed. So that covers a lot of that, but then the hydro mulch comes out of that line item too. And I just bought, I mean, we have a pretty full inventory, but it's gonna be going out pretty quick again in the spring too, so I think we're sitting pretty good. Yeah, we were, I think, New Year's Eve, we were out hydro seeding. Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of trying to remember, the county cleaned a ditch out for a quarter, half mile, and I seen it was hydro seeded. I can't remember what it was now.
Been all over. We did quite a bit in December, actually.
Do you have good luck with that? Of course, I guess you can't, I'm putting you on the spot. Putting it on the fall of the year, you know what I mean? And does it take a hold, or?
I mean, everything we sprayed's still there. We put a little bit more tack in it to keep it up there, but, yeah, it has been.
I know years passed around me where they done it already in the fall of the year, it just, you might as well spray it in the carpet.
Yeah, we did a little trial and error early on, and I think the more tack we put in, the better chance we have of it holding. So everything we looked at was still holding.
Good. I'm doing all the talking, guys, your turn.
I do not know, kinda like running a road grader, I'm not a weak guy. So, second from the bottom, 7140, 630, all zeros. What is that?
That would be the spray unit on our truck. So one's in Washington right now getting outfitted, and the plan is to buy another one here this next go round.
Okay. Equipment.
But,
You got is that a pickup truck you got
Yep.
budgeted in there?
Yep. My understanding is that's been in there for 5 years or more, and they hadn't pulled the trigger on buying it, and we finally bought one last year, and then this will be the next one this year, hopefully, we would buy. And then that, we would be done with that.
I keep asking, I don't remember. We had that grant for that chipper.
Yeah, I need to have the auditor's office run a report, because I don't know.
The which
Do you
one?
know, did we ever get that grant?
From the,
Darren Stein would have been the one to turn it in.
for the revenues?
Yes.
Yes, it would have been in between July and October of '23.
And we would have put it in the weed probably,
That'd be my guess.
and run a revenue report.
Because, you know, the way it was set up, we didn't get the grant until we got the chipper. The chipper come, Shelby received it, and then there was some stipulation that it had to be
Roadside.
roadside only.
Yeah.
So then it was kind of a hang-up.
Yeah, because it was a $15,000
And
reimbursement.
then, didn't we get, is that the one we had our insurance come out to?
No, I
No.
don't think so.
That was
No.
different.
It was-
yeah.
I think it was supposed to be 73% funded,
No.
I believe.
The check that they said was coming was only,
54,000?
no, that was the skid loader, so it'd be before that.
Yeah, it was before I was here.
25.
Yeah.
23, 24,
Maybe.
we might have got 52,924. Let me see.
It said it was 73%. Well, I'm just redoing the IRVM plan now, and it said 73% was, because you can go back and look up
Interesting.
any county, I believe. That's what I just
I
saw
mean, it's
today.
worth going after.
No, that one, sorry, that 52 was from Creative Risk, so that was the other one that we had.
Oh, that was the, yeah, insurance, yep. And yeah, anything prior to that. I don't know if it ever got turned in.
Go back. It would have been 21, 22?
It's worth a shot, maybe,
Uh,
but I don't think so.
That might have been too long ago.
Should have been
The
20.
numbers I saw, I think it was only 15 is all we were getting for the whole thing.
I got it at home in a cardboard box somewhere, but
I'm not showing anything for that amount, at least it wasn't deposited into
that's what I thought.
Department 24,
It was never turned,
turned in.
probably never turned in.
Okay, so yeah, then,
If you could look back at that grant, see if the state won't honor that yet.
I think we're past that, but I hope that we're still in their good graces for applying for future grants. Cause it's bad practice to, apply and then
Don't get it.
just, yeah, get the grant and then just ignore them.
Well, I would have thought they would have said something to us if it was still sitting there.
They were communicating with me and then I sent them to Darren and I'm not sure what happened after that. Yeah, so it was $67,000,
That's what the total cost
the
was.
total cost, and I am looking to see about the grant.
Yeah, it says their match was 76%. Yeah, I got it right here, yeah. The very bottom one. But then it says 15, so I don't know.
Yeah, and then county's 15.
I just saw that today for the first time, actually.
That would have been nice. Yeah, this says 2022.
That would have been in fiscal year 22, 23.
I cannot keep track of when, but yeah, I think so. 20,
Unless it went into a different department, I'll keep looking. Which I wouldn't think it would have.
I just don't think it got turned in.
I think so. I think you're right.
Oh, yeah, my math's flipped, yeah, that's ours.
So I think that all happened during the transition there.
Okay, I was communicating with Living Roadway Trust May of 2023, trying to sort it out. And they sent me the reimbursement stuff and how to do it, and then I had forwarded it to Darren. And then I didn't hear anything. But we would get 15,
Yeah, I think that's what.
yeah, so we would get 15,000 out of the 69. I would guess over a year out that we're not gonna be getting the grant funding.
We got a $2,000 from Roadways Living Trust
2,000?
on October 10th of 23. That was deposited into miscellaneous grants and reimbursement. But otherwise, just that creative risk and
Yeah, so, no, we did not get it.
I guess we didn't apply for anything in 23, I don't know what that would have been.
And that one said it was just from Iowa Living Roadways Trust Fund in 2000.
Lump sum I sent out. Yeah.
Well, if that's the case, you can use it in your parks then.
Yeah, exactly, without question.
Gentlemen, you got any more questions?
No, looks like the weed went down just a little. From 713 to 709.
It did, just a little.
And you're doing interviews,
Friday.
everybody's doing interviews.
Friday?
Mhm.
Good, thank you.
You got some applications, got you, or?
Yeah, we're interviewing 5 on Friday?
Yeah, you know,
Good.
five pretty good ones, really.
Awesome.
It looks
Yeah.
good.
Gives you some help.
Yeah, be back to full staff.
Hire one,
Yeah,
Yeah, because we have one currently, so.
and we're still leaning on one guy in the spray truck.
I talked with most of the other counties and they were kind of split 50-50. Some would have 2, some would have 1, so.
I'll just be comfortable.
Keep
Yeah.
working on them, CC.
Only thing I could foresee that, I seen this fall, when I had some complaints, you did it in my area. Whoever did it, did a good job from the ditch to the fence. But technically, the Canadians that was on the edge of the road and on the road, that they don't blade, never got sprayed.
Funny enough, what I think when you're spraying is that's hard to see by the person that's running the switches if you have a two-person crew.
Really?
It's easier to see by the driver, so.
Okay, I just seen that, and I thought, well, to me, I'm gonna watch that this spring now to see if it does slow them down to the road ditch and they come back worse on the road. But we'll see.
The only thing, my only comment is you've got the 60 itself for the vehicle. Is there any money left in there somewhere
For
your, a new truck? And then you've got the money up above for your equipment to go in it. 60 doesn't hardly buy a truck these days.
Well, that 57, that bought it this last round,
I see that.
with just the chassis, and that is what they said it would be this round too, so.
Okay. I was just wondering if maybe we weren't gonna be short a little there.
What am I saying,
No,
crazy?
because it depends what kind of bed he puts on it.
Yeah, we were just getting the chassis, there was
Yeah.
nothing
Yeah.
on it.
Then that comes out of the line above it,
Mhm.
and that's been running fairly consistent for putting that together.
Yeah, we don't even have a full year,
Yeah.
is the problem. So,
Well, you won't have to get,
We'll
like
get a full
sides
year
on
this
that
year.
next truck.
No, that, everything's included in that,
Yeah,
yeah.
okay,
I'm good, thank you.
Cool.
thanks, guys.
yeah.
I'll take a motion to go into recess right now.
I'll make
All right,
the motion.
Haley?
I'll make the motion to go into recess.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Boy, we're 10 minutes ahead. Anybody staying for lunch?
So like I said, Courtney's not able to come.
Was that the Veterans Affairs?
And general assistant one, yep.
Okay.
They're two separate ones, Department 21 and 19.
Do we want to leave her on there or just,
Well, she said go ahead and look it over
You
and
can look
talk.
at
If you
it.
had questions, we can follow up with
Okay.
an email. Yeah, because the only thing that hers, she's now on our insurance where she wasn't before. So that was an increase in the area. But hers is split between the two budgets, her salary and everything.
Well, this afternoon, I'm gonna go fill up every single 5-gallon gas can I have for a generator in case the electricity goes out.
Is that what's in the back of your truck?
No, those are buckets full of sand
Oh, okay.
for traction.
I was like, wow.
But if I don't go buy that fuel,
Oh, you're gonna need it.
We'll need it. If I do buy it, I'll use it in the lawnmower all summer. See, that's the way that works. I control the weather that way.
Are they thinking
I
it's gonna
appreciate
be
that.
that bad? I hope it's not that bad.
They're saying tomorrow we're gonna have freezing rain.
I don't mind it if I'm home. I can sit there and watch it.
She got a state grant on here that,
So then it's probably showing your revenues too.
okay,
She has different grants for different things.
she's got a rent payment on here. Any clues?
Is that when they can help veterans with rent assistance and stuff? Same with general assistance? They can pay their rent for them.
They never used it in 23, 24. So far this year, she's used $500. I didn't know what that was.
Those are just as needed when
And
people come forward.
utilities is also an assistance deal?
Yep,
Okay. And,
because obviously she's in our county building.
yeah, general transportation. There's,
They have that VA van,
okay,
so
I must not use it much anymore.
I gotta have it, but I can't find it.
Don't feel like the Lone Ranger.
Department 21, can I help you?
Veteran,
Well, I know, it's, did you leave your little tabs on?
Yes, I did.
That's the hub. Oh, there's relief, just that. So there's relief,
Okay.
and then veterans. There you go.
You mean the tab that says veterans?
Yeah. It's okay.
Okay, good, you're here.
Yes.
Jesus.
funeral services, okay.
What do we got up here? Get stuck with somebody. You're just laughing because you don't have it, you think. Would I steer you wrong? Possibly. Yeah, here's the relief. And VA should be right behind it.
Okay.
There you go.
Is the VA there?
Yep.
Oh, so you didn't have a tab on it, okay.
Veterans does. Maybe I'll invest in better binders for you with nice tabs.
Nope, mine's fine.
I can't have very many more
Well,
secondary roads and sheriffs yet, right?
Yeah, and IT and, it should be about all of them left.
I'll say that, mine will be full.
You need a bigger one like the other two have? I can bring you a bigger one.
Did we have somebody come in and talk about more money for care of graves, mowing?
Yes,
It was Tim Sage.
yes.
What did we do there?
Nothing yet. Supposed to- Courtney has been supposed to get me how many veterans are buried in Benton County, one thing. Second thing, the way we had it set up, if you had perpetual care, money in the bank, you did not get that money from the county to offset
I remember you talking about this now.
that. Yes, and that's, the majority of them do have some kind of perpetual care. You know what I mean?
Yep.
You know,
'Cause,
and I don't wanna say what Courtney told me, to go on record, about how many veterans there was, but I mean, it was a lot that are buried there. And if we went $5 or $10 a piece, wow.
That's up.
Cause I see she's went from 3,000 to 1,500.
Well, actually, in Norway,
I
because
think
we
that was
talked
what
about that.
Karen was here, she did all that
They
research.
reached out to all the families and told them, say, hey, it's your responsibility. But there were so many of them, there's nobody to contact. So
Oh, really?
we've had a couple of fundraisers now.
Okay.
I don't know where the money is, but the last one we had, I forget what, I think maybe the Foresters said they would match whatever money we made up to 15,000
Okay.
to get something, so I don't know if they're gonna do something this summer up there. But it's not gonna, the wheels are turning in, finally.
Well, I know, like, for instance, our cemetery, the main one that I'm in charge of, we were only paying just a shy less than $5,000 to mow the lawn. We upped it this spring to 12,000,
Because it, just to make it.
just to keep what we got.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
I mean, just, and the person we got, she does an excellent job. I mean, there's nobody complains.
I'm not happy with that. They got too big of machines,
Mm,
way too big, and they either scour or they can't get close, they can't get in between, it's just great big huge wings on them.
Yeah, and then if you got rodents up there, last time I was down to Mound Cemetery.
Mhm.
They
On the
got
south
moles.
side?
Yes,
Yeah,
they
that's
got
bad.
moles.
It's way bad.
You know. And I used to help out trapping them down there, and then, the guy that used to be the groundskeeper and all that, he passed away, and now they hire somebody else to mow it.
Deuce Holland used to mow that.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Deuce and his wife, yeah. You know.
Anyway, we're gonna go visit that back
Okay.
sometime this
So should we
summer.
have her put $1,500 back in there instead of taking it down 1,500?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's
Okay.
just, like I said, I mean, it's a good thing to help out, you know, but,
Well, like you said, it sounds like most of it's already paid for.
yeah, I mean, a lot of them's got money, you know, perpetual care. They got some kind of perpetual care saved up.
That's supposed to take care of it.
Yes, I mean, our cemetery, we got a lot of perpetual care, but according to our bylaws, we can't touch it. Only thing we can use the interest off of it. Well, now here the last year or so, the interest has gone up, so that's helping quite a bit. You know what I mean? But still, it don't cover
Sure.
the day-to-day of mowing lawn or weed eating or gravel or,
She's got at the bottom, it looks like there might have be a grant up top, State of Iowa grant. And then down at the bottom, there's a State of Iowa grant, but that one went away.
Yeah, they haven't had activity in that one this fiscal year either, so. Because she's got two line items for state of Iowa, so
Yeah.
3,200 and 3,210. I think they might have just moved it up to 3,200 for the function. If you look up 489050, under 3,200, she put 10,000 there. And if you look, that one didn't have it. I think they just moved it to a different
Okay.
line item.
Yeah, our whole budget or the Veterans Affairs part went down.
So did the relief, it looks like.
Well, I think I'm getting there. All right, there's the. Yep.
the food and provisions. She cut that way back.
And veterans?
See page 1 of veterans. And if you look at,
There's never any activity.
Nothing.
Hasn't been for quite some time.
didn't she give out turkeys or something here for Thanksgiving or Christmas?
Well, I think, didn't somebody donate? Like, they'll get donations too, and then she'll take those gift cards and go
Okay.
buy stuff with them and then do
I
that.
was thinking she was giving a turkey or something Thanksgiving or Christmas, I thought.
Yeah, I don't know why the food and, I don't know, you know,
I
if a
could
lot of
be
the
wrong.
veterans are aware that those services, I would assume so, but I don't know.
I could be wrong.
Well, I would bet they promote them. And maybe they're moving them to the
Maybe
pantries.
Maybe that's for her to do, like outreach or something, I don't know, food and provisions, but to me, I would think it would be the other way around. Yeah, it looks like she just was reducing some of those areas that she didn't have activity in.
Yeah.
There was quite a few of those that didn't have activity.
Well, all in all, it looks good on her budget end.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, I didn't see.
Both of them.
Nothing jumps out.
Yeah, the relief and the veterans, so she will, if she's watching out there, and
Yeah, like, the only thing she said she increased was her insurance, because
Yep.
she's taking insurance now.
yep. So I said she don't need to come back in to, revisit this. It looks good to me. This next one, we're really gonna write that one apart.
Oh, you should.
Waiting all day for this.
Okay, bring it on.
Tell me she's mean. Read that in the book.
I already have some of my increases I can go over with you.
I gotta find it.
All right.
Department 2 and auditors 02 and then the
That's
elections.
the one she probably didn't give me.
It's in there, I saw it. I think I did my election one all separate for you.
You did.
Why is this thing in there?
There's auditor. All right.
Hold on, I'm gonna plug this in. It keeps telling me it's low.
We may have her come in, her and Sarah, and talk about the general assistance end of it. All right, auditor, where'd you go?
02?
Attorney.
Mine was one of the first ones I gave you with the.
Yeah, I've apparently moved it.
According to this, she wants more.
Let's keep looking in the back.
There it is, auditor.
Auditor.
Auditor elections, so
Yep.
02 is auditor, and then all these others are elections, the different kinds of elections.
Well, I read those
Yeah.
last night.
Well, and then they fluctuate, what years have spending authority versus what don't because of the city, school, generals, et cetera.
Yeah.
So,
All right, so the first line is you.
yep. And then the deputies, I have Alicia, 50/50. 50% of hers comes out of this budget, 50% comes out of elections.
Okay,
Gina's all elections. And then I moved the spending from clerk to deputy. That would be John and Nancy as well.
okay.
And then I increased my publications and postage in case we have an equalization notice. I won't spend it if I don't need it. Because sometimes we might not get an equalizer, we might have 0, but if I do, I have to send those notices out. And so I'm just quoting what I get for the quote for the budget mailing. So I put that same amount in. And then, so the bank, IT stuff, a lot of that's ACH fees for our payroll deposits. And then I increased my education, training, and mileage a little bit. I'm on the ISACA board. Yep.
Where's that Tyler Technology figure
That's
in?
gonna come out of Ben's IT stuff.
What
It's gonna
is?
be all into IT. Cause like Lexa, Melinda, all of our IT software comes out of IT department or Lost.
Okay, so that's why he's got such a high budget.
See, and I think the sheriff's office is looking at
Yeah, we're trying to
moving
simplify
that all
it.
over to Ben.
That way we get one invoice, he knows what's where and can
Okay.
sign off on that
Okay,
stuff.
okay,
Cause a lot of those are just add-ons to what we already got.
yep.
So, so my particular one, and Melinda, just, that's for our ACH for payroll and her banking stuff.
Okay.
But, so as far as my education, training, and mileage increases, I'm on the ISACA exec board, and I think, because I'm the secretary this year, I can get reimbursement for some of those. So if that's the case, then I won't push it through mine.
Now, what's your number that you increased? 413? 910, 413? Or am I in the wrong spot?
Yeah, mileage and travel. Well, no, that one stayed the same, I guess.
Yeah.
I increased it on the election side because I'm sending, everybody has to be, the state's getting a new,
Certified.
where our iVoters is
Oh,
not
yeah.
gonna be the same program, it's all new, so we all have to go to training in June, so I don't know if it's gonna, by the time we pay it, the next fiscal year. And then I'm also gonna send a couple to state election administration training. That's a statewide election training, and then you get your continued ed hours and that kind of stuff. Because I don't know if you know, Bruce, but if there's an infraction in elections, I can get fined $10,000. Whether it's my error or one of my deputies,
Ouch.
or a precinct worker. So we, want to make sure we're all on board with keeping up on all that stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So otherwise, just the salaries and those little bits is where I increased. And then also with the elections, like those special elections, when I have spending authority, obviously if we don't have that, I don't use it. And some of that, I have to show the expenses, but I get reimbursed. So like the city of Urbana special, I can bill them back and get reimbursed some of it.
Your voting machines, if I remember right, you got new ones, correct?
Mhm.
And then that's a yearly payment too yet, right?
Nope, we paid them up front. So what I have
Oh,
in
we
here
did.
is just they come and the vendor comes and they do their maintenance on them. They'll if we need like software upgrades, they collaborate them. They come to on-site and do that for us. So
Oh.
that's where those maintenance fees are.
Okay, okay.
That's how we knew if you saw some of the counties on the news for stuff, they weren't up to date on a few things and it can affect stuff. So
Yep,
I'm always keep up with that.
okay.
And I just left the wage increase compared to what the comp board recommended.
So you just figured the percentage off your salary?
Yeah, I just put in the
And then everybody else,
3,000 and then the percentage.
Not 3% or 2%,
Nope, I just did the percentages on
Okay.
deputies,
okay?
because Gina's already at 85%, so I
Right.
did increase John a little bit and just the percentage, because he hasn't been made a deputy yet, but.
Okay. I'm on page 3 already, guys.
Yep.
That's, once I get them certified, then I feel like, yeah. Because then they can take some of that weight off of me.
Yeah, 'cause some years you gotta have the primary election stuff,
Yeah.
others you don't. The city schools.
But then I have revenues, if you see too, showing some of
Yep.
that comes back to us, but if it's like a countywide election, like the general, some of that, we have to eat those.
Wasn't Urbana having a special
Yeah,
election?
it's February 25th,
What I thought,
so we had to stay open late last night.
okay.
There's just all those deadlines. we
Is
gotta
that
go
for,
on. They had 2 vacancies.
Council,
Oh, council vacancy.
council,
That has nothing to do with their law enforcement?
Nope,
no.
nope. So their special election is just strictly.
So we've got a city/school election,
Because they combined.
Yeah.
Remember, they used
and
to be
then we've
separate.
got a special city elections.
That's the fill-in, like if the mayor quits, or not so much the mayor, council.
We used to have a city election, or schools elections in September, and cities were in November.
Right.
But now they're combined.
Well, there's a special school election.
That's because the school could, like, Benton Community could say, I want to pass a bond issue, and then we have to be prepared to.
To do that.
So I have to have the spending authority even if I get revenue reimbursed. But-
Yep.
And then my election workers, I'll get paid out accordingly, mileage. So I do pay $2,000 of Ben's salary, comes out of my department too, elections. And then I have Rick Wood when he's helping set up.
Yep.
So we've just been dividing his salary, he writes it on his timesheet, whatever's maintenance or whatever's elections.
Yep.
And then the other part-time, Tom Kinsey, same with him.
Okay.
He's working security or elections,
Yep,
they're just an hourly rate, we do.
yep. Yep, I remember we said that was a smart idea.
Yeah, it worked out. I think Rick enjoyed it.
Yep.
You know, I'm surprised, because basically what it's went up is the mailings. In the end, I mean, it has not gone up
So
much.
those postage places, a lot of times they want a deposit, they'll quote us, so say I have 17,000 parcels. They'll quote you your postage, they want that up front. And then, once they run the statements and then they finalize your bill, because then you get charged for the paper and all that other stuff. But we actually had a credit from last year for the budget mailing. So I went with the same vendor this year because we had a credit.
Now the Urbana election, they can vote here at the courthouse and
For early voting.
yeah,
And then
or they gotta vote in Urbana.
on
correct?
election day, yep.
Yep, gotcha.
Yep, same with that window for absentee voting.
Yep, gotcha.
Our ballots, I think, just arrived today.
Okay,
And then we'll do the same process. We have to test the
Yep.
machines.
yep, yep.
Sometimes
Okay.
the smaller ones are just as much work, really.
I have no questions.
No,
Ray brought the heavy hitter with him too.
I'm not the brains of the office.
Here, I'll get the meat box out of your way.
Okay.
Or have a piece.
How's everybody today?
Good.
Good deal. Good deal.
Did you switch positions with you over here before?
No, this is where I've always been.
Yeah, well, over there, right?
No, that's where Tracy's been.
I've been in the center.
Yeah. I don't have a nameplate. yet,
Center
so I'm-
attention.
I'm not sure who I am.
We have to get all new ones to match. They don't make those kind anymore,
I
so.
don't.
Gina's been looking.
I'll answer anything but late for lunch.
And you weren't today, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Good.
Alright.
Are you ready for me?
We're ready.
We're ready.
This budget was prepared prior to the most recent amendment that you passed this morning. So it doesn't actually reflect the accurate amount of increase. Calculated based on that, it's 3.02% increase. I trimmed $16,500 off of various items so that I could put it into salaries. As you know, I've been pretty outspoken about the fact my collections people are paid less than the part-time janitor over here by hour. So most of this money goes into raises for Angie, Kelsey, and Elena. Bring Angie and Kelsey to, or excuse me, Elena and Kelsey to 42.5 and Angie to 39.9, 'cause she's not been here so long, and those are rough amounts. I did put in the compensation board recommendation for all three lawyers. Yeah, I'm really excited about the quality of the legal representation we're providing with Alicia and Derek, and I want to make sure they're taken care of. And Lori and Joyce also got those same amounts. So everything went into salaries. I cut 16.5 out of it. And the final number will be 3.02 above what my budget will end up being this year. I did some, just so you know, I did some rough calculations of our collection revenue based on our mid-year amounts that we've brought in so far. I estimate, and this, I estimated low because I just wasn't sure, that our share of what we bring in from collection will be $326,000 this year.
That'll be your money?
No, that's that goes in the county.
No, I mean the county.
Yeah, that's the county share, what we get, yes. It goes into, a little bit of that will go into my incentive fund, but the majority of that goes just in the general fund for the county.
So 320, you said?
326 is what I estimate, but.
Okay.
I mean.
Yep, just an estimate.
Yeah, but it's, you know, I mean, you told me long ago, collections had to make money or else we wouldn't do it, and we're doing that, you know, quite well. So.
Does the sheriff's office still get some of that too? Is that what you thought, Ron?
Not from us, they don't. It all goes
We
in-
get a 60-40 split out of something.
Well, if we did jail collections, but we haven't, we've not managed to get that to work very well, and at this point, the ladies are so busy, I don't know, that's gonna be realistic for a while.
Yep.
You know, they work really hard down there in collections, it's something.
Question for you, Ray. On the legal.
Yes.
CT related.
Right.
You went through 62,000, and now you only got 24,000 budgeted for next year.
That's because a lot of that carried over from 23, 24.
Okay.
Because we came in, on 23, 24, I came in 28,600 under budget, because a lot of that got pushed over into this year. I think that's an anomaly. I don't think we're gonna see that kind of expense again.
That's the one we got a budget amendment today for.
Yeah, and I've been talking to Iowa County about doing a 28E to share those kind of cases, so we can limit that expense a lot more. And also, part of the problem was when I came on board, we had a felony case that needed a prosecutor, and the Attorney General was going through all those transitions where they changed that, you know, they let a lot of staff go, or hiring new, couldn't take it. Well, that case went on almost over a year and a half, and that's what cost us so much money, is that one case. So, but now the Attorney General's been taking all those. We have 2 cases they're handling right now. We have 1 Tama County's handling and 2 Iowa County's handling, and a couple private attorneys who are paying. But like I said, this is all gonna be, I think it's gonna get much better soon, just because we're not gonna have that kind of cases going forward. So I think 24 might be overly, it might be a little high, but we just don't know. Also, and I don't know where this is at, but we're looking into maybe trying to collect some of this money back that we paid out through the court system. So we're working on that too, to try to recoup it. And of course, as you know, we had a lot of other civil, non-criminal related stuff we had to deal with last year too, with outside counsel and stuff like that.
So the cases that you're saying, Tama County and Iowa County's helping out, them are cases against like a Benton County resident?
Some of them are cases where they're part of clients of mine and I'm prohibited by the rules from prosecuting them.
Okay, that I understand.
And like one right now involves a conflict because it's somebody that we work with, and that's, you know, that's also prohibited by the
Okay.
rules, and
Okay.
and then some of this expense was just outside counsel in areas where we needed a second opinion.
Okay.
And some of that stuff last year. So I said, I don't anticipate it being that big.
Okay.
I did limit, I trimmed some of the travel and training stuff, so, you know, we'll probably just do less of that this year. And I've got money built in for part-time, or, that's in there for maternity. We have somebody go off on maternity leave, we need to get temporary help, or
Yeah.
temporary. So I don't know if we'll even use that. I mean, I can see a scenario where we might, but now I don't anticipate using that, it's just a cushion.
You got one line in here, judgments and damages, settlements. You did have 5,000 the year before, and now this time you only got 500.
Because it's not an area.
No, I think that might be a typo. It's under the forfeiture fund.
Yeah, county attorney forfeiture fund.
I think that might need to be 5,000.
And I think that might be just spending authority.
Okay.
I
That's
think
what it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't
Never
show,
used it.
doesn't show that
No.
you've been spending it.
No, it's just spending authority, I think.
Okay.
I don't,
But that should be corrected, that should be 5,000
Yeah, I
then?
think so.
I don't see,
Okay.
I don't see using that. I don't see a scenario where we would. But it's there, it was there when I came and I just left it alone.
Do you find that, Haley?
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up.
So that should be 20,000 then?
5,000,
I know, but the total down below.
Yeah, the bottom line.
yeah.
Should be
This
20,000.
is the
Yeah.
forfeiture fund, so if we do a forfeiture.
We do a forfeiture, yeah.
So that was in 090.
Because that's what it's been.
Detention,
Yeah, just in case.
self-detention.
No, that's in the juvenile.
So other fines and forfeitures, 3,000 to what do you want to change it to?
It was 500, but it should be 5,000.
Oh, sorry, I was in the wrong line.
It's the judgment
Okay.
damages settlement.
So 500, so put 5,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's probably mislabeled.
1,100,491.
Or what?
That's the line item that she was looking at.
Yep, I got it. So I put 5,000 back.
Also, while I'm here, I wanted to update you on the detention situation, because we've spent an incredible amount of money on detention placements this year. Central Iowa is trying to get us to renew the contract with them. I looked at the contract, it's not good. It doesn't set out any fee schedule or anything, and I don't want us to sign it until they come to the table and start giving us some clarity. Because we had a child there that was being billed at $250 a day, and this individual became very difficult, so they jacked the rate to $400 a day and didn't tell us. We found out when we got the invoice. Well, that can't happen. We can't have that. So I talked to North Iowa Detention in Waterloo about joining them, and they said right now they're full, but they'll put us on a waiting list. And then I talked to Lynn County Detention, and they have sent me a couple sample contracts. I had some questions to follow up with them on, but once I get that back, those questions answered, then I'll come to you and we'll see whether we want to stay in Central Iowa or whether we want to move to Lynn County. And apparently there are a number of counties that are having these same questions with Central Iowa. Because we spent like $110,000 last year for detention. That's just insane.
You would think they would have a fee service schedule.
We've
You
asked-
schedule service fees.
We've asked for 2 years.
We've
Haley and
been
I both been asking.
Yeah, and now they are pushing because we haven't renewed our agreement since '23. And now that we're questioning it, but then we were told to hold off, so I don't know what's going on. They told us to hold off.
Well,
Oh, they-
because they knew I was gonna tell you to hold off, I think, because they're getting pushed back from Dubuque and a bunch of other
Yeah,
counties.
yeah.
We're not gonna sign it the way it is. We're not gonna set ourselves up for being billed at whatever their whim is.
Because how can we budget if we don't know any kind of a fee schedule? And that's one of those amendments we just did today for another $100,000. Because I think I'm holding 40-some thousand.
Well,
Of course, and didn't you ask for an itemized, you know, what were we charged for this and what were
Yeah.
we charged for
Ray and I
this?
both had reached out to Tony.
You just get, here's what you owe. and there's no,
Well, it's a little better now. The most recent one, like, we're getting billed for the daily fee, and then Luke and I went through the recent invoices, Luke Blood from juvenile court office. They're billing us $60 an hour to transport the child anywhere. They're billing us $60 an hour to sit and wait for her wherever she is. They're billing $50 an hour to talk to her about whatever's bothering her at the particular moment, and the guise of counseling. And then we're also getting stuck for all her medical bills and prescriptions. Because when a child goes into that level of placement, then Title 19 stops. So we have to figure out, one of the advantages of Lynn County, it's here's what you pay, and there's no cafeteria stuff, no stuff added on. So it'd be a little bit more per day than $250, but it might be better in the long run. The question I had for him was, do you have to buy, because you have to buy days, you have to buy how many days you're gonna use it. My question was, do you have to buy a year, can you buy 250 days, what can, because I can't imagine we're gonna need the number of beds.
300 days.
Yeah, I just don't think we're going to. I mean, this child we had was really challenging, and she's alive today because of our checkbook, I think, because she would not have survived outside of a facility like this, I don't think. I really have concerns for her. She's a great kid, but she's just got a lot to deal with, and she's now in Idaho in a facility out there, and things are going better, so I'm encouraged.
But if we did say, go with Lynn County and we bought 250 days, what happens if we need to exceed that?
And you pay a higher rate.
Oh,
You don't
okay.
get the friendly members rate.
You can still get somebody in there.
Yeah.
You can't buy from somebody else's bank that they haven't used.
You can do that now. You can go to North Iowa or Lynn now, but you pay more.
Okay.
But we would have been paying less to do that than what we were paying for this
As it turned
individual
out.
Central Iowa.
So what happens when she's out of state like that? Can they turn around and bill us? since she's
No,
our
state
resident?
picks it up. When she was out of
Okay,
state,
so
the
they're
state
safe.
pays for all of it. They didn't pay for medications, everything. So,
Like ME cases, we go back and forth.
yeah. So, down the road, we may have some issues, but I don't know yet. We'll see. We'll see.
It'd be just nice going into it, what your expenses are gonna be.
Well, and I've been trying in court, when the issue of detention comes up, to try to find a way to get other counties to pay for it. We had a kid that had a case in Benton and Lynn, and we were able to get him put in detention in Lynn and save us that money.
It's an expensive business.
It is.
I had no idea until that, I don't think anybody knows that isn't involved in it.
Oh, no.
Well, the problem is there's absolutely no predictability, and there's not a way to build it in. You're just, you don't know how many beds you're gonna need, or how often you need them. You don't know if you're gonna need 3 at one time. You just don't know.
There needs to be something that we send in for reimbursement from the state.
There used to be that program?
No.
Oh, there should be.
This is just
though.
one of those unfunded mandates that we have.
That's another one of those.
And I'm working diligently to find ways to avoid putting them in detention. But there's only so much that I can control too.
I guess the only question I got, Ray,
Mhm.
last one, you have 4 people in the collections department, right?
Right, yep.
And I was trying to figure out where their salaries all come in at.
Okay, because it's lumped. Yeah, I thought you might want that.
So Deb is under salaries of regular employee manager, and then the rest are on the line right underneath it for paralegals.
I can tell you what they make and what we're asking for. Right now, Angie and Kelsey make 37,895. And Elena makes 39,961, I believe. And then after, in Iowa, you're a paralegal if you have a degree or you work as a paralegal under supervision for 2 years. Well, Elena and Kelsey will hit that standard where they'll be officially paralegals, and Angie won't be there yet. So The request is to go to 42,560 for them, which is the same as a starting dispatcher, within a few dollars of what a starting dispatcher makes across the street. And Angie will go to 39,900, right? Yeah,
What's Angie at right now?
37,895.
But there's 4 in that department, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So we got 42,
42,500 times 2, and 39,900, and then Deb's up in the managerial part. And she makes, she's at 70, she'll go to,
So if we go, or if we're on page 1, the first line is Ray.
Right.
The next line covers who?
Me and Deb.
Okay. So that covers Lori and Deb. And the next line covers,
Elena, Kelsey, Joyce, and Angie.
and the next line is Derek.
And Alicia.
Okay. Where is Joyce?
She's at.
salary wise,
Well, just,
she's in with,
still at a meeting.
She's in the paralegal line, the third one.
okay. Okay.
I don't remember what Joyce will go to. I think she makes right at 45.
She'd go to 46.
She would go to 46 something, 46.8 or.
So according to these figures, your collection is making money now.
Yes, oh, definitely.
Okay.
And we've got a contract done to take on Floyd County, which is quite a bit smaller, but it still will generate 40,000 for us over the year.
But do you think it's smart to take that on? Don't you think you got enough, Ray? The girls?
You know, I kind of left that up to them, because I think they have a better understanding of what they can handle. And there was, you know, in the beginning, there was a lot of reinforcement for doing it. I probably will reevaluate that before we go any farther, because Dubuque has gotten to be so big, you know, we're pulling down some incredible weeks sometimes in Dubuque. And I've already been assured they're gonna renew it with us next year, so. I mean, we could realistically not do it, but we need to let them know if we're not going to pretty soon. I'm talking about Floyd County.
So you got Dubuque, Tama County,
Yep,
Ben County?
yep,
I'm missing one.
Bremer.
Bremer, okay.
Right. And for the last couple of years, Tama has talked like maybe their supervisors would like to do their own, but they're kind of trying to discourage that, just because we do it so well. We have everything so, you know, so well established and in place, and it'd be hard to get to that point on your own.
See, they have a couple new supervisors too that started in January now, so that
Yeah.
might change.
Right.
Okay. So overall,
So it'll be a 3.02% increase overall, based on the amendment this morning.
For general basic.
Yeah, for general basic.
that's a question for looking at. About $38,000 higher.
That's without the amendment, right?
So that
Yep, basically.
710
Yes.
at 15, because I'm given 15,000 more spending authority
Right.
than what that shows.
After Jim.
15,000 more.
If we do, after I do those journal entries today for the legal and court, where that says 62,813.01 for the year to date, and they only had 24,000, I'm gonna add 15,000 more spending authority. And that already included the other 15, so, the 725. Because we already did an amendment earlier in September.
Okay. No, your budget's only going up. $14,000 of all.
Basically wages.
Page
Yeah,
two.
it's just
Yeah,
wages.
page
Right.
two.
That's all it is wages. Because you told us if we want
Yep.
a pay increase, you'd find it somewhere else. That's what I tried to do.
Yeah.
But it's gonna ensure that the people you got stay.
Yep.
Okay, that's all the questions I have. You gentlemen, got any more?
That's all I've got.
Nope, I see nothing.
Thank you so much.
Hopefully that was painful for you, Ray.
Oh, my lord. It's fine. Not my favorite thing to do, but it's fine.
Coming in.
Yeah.
You wanna look detailed, non-detailed, or non-departmentals, or? No,
What time's your meeting?
2:30, we got time.
No, we got.
I mean, go ahead.
Which one we at now?
Oh, we're good now.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know if you wanted to do any more budget before we adjourn.
Where
Ron and I
is-
have till 2:30 now.
Yeah.
I didn't plan that. Well, that's what she had available, unless we go to my office. But then Mona's here.
Benton County Cemetery.
Yeah, he just brought that in to see the things they were doing, Wayne Shannon. Pioneer Cemeteries, and we budget for them too.
Where are we finding this?
Well,
Under the supervisors?
I think he just asked me to give it to you, and I put it in your folder. I don't know if I made copies.
This one here, Ray. Where's Ray?
I don't have it.
I think
Don't have it?
Nancy just threw it in there today,
Okay,
this morning. Somebody did.
I'm just going through the stack that you give me.
Yeah, those, I just need your signature.
So these are the ones you're talking about.
For the allocation and non-departmentals that
Yes.
you told me to go ahead with last week.
Yes? And that's the ones you wanna talk about today, right now?
Well,
That
you're signing
okay?
them, so I'm saying, and
Yeah.
then we have next week, so we need secondary roads, IT, GIS budget,
Put the sheriff on the last one, okay?
yeah, the sheriff, public health,
Supervisors.
yeah. Well, you guys can talk about yours now. Tracy had me change it,
You did what, lawyers?
the legal fees.
Yes.
Oh, we got to ask, the HR lady said him and Ray would talk to an attorney, and we never asked who the attorney was. I'm assuming it's Brent Hinders, but I don't know that. Either of you expecting a raid?
Nope.
Okay,
Sounds like
helicopter sounded close.
rattling the windows.
Thought, I don't think he's coming for me, but
Oh, I didn't call anybody in.
Okay, we'll touch on these. I thought we talked about them last week, but we'll touch on them again. We agreed, I believe, that Hawkeye Area Community Action, better known as HACAP, they're asking for 7,876. That's it. All right. Belle Plaine Community Center, they're asking for 5,000.
And that was a reduction.
Yes, big reduction. Tracy Achenbach, 5,986, that's for Eastern Iowa Trust Fund. Benton County Volunteer, the United Way, 20,000.
That's the same they had from the year before, isn't it?
Yes.
They just kind of changed their name a little bit. Because we used to have an in-person that worked directly there, but they're still trying to find somebody.
Riverview is $1,000, and that's what the sheriff says they reported.
Are we still stuck in that SAR? We gotta find that out too. Are you sure we're not in that 2080?
well, we might be, oh boy. I don't think we've got anything to do with that lady anymore.
Because we were paying Delaware County, they were the fiscal agent.
I think we're out of that end of it.
Because we didn't
but-
renew it or whatever.
Yeah,
Okay, I'll double check.
Okay,
but I
and
think you are right.
Middle Cedar Watershed, 5,000. And the other one I did not see in here is Easy Club.
Well, that's kind of a given, we get that bill, it's like an assessment notice, so.
Okay. Okay,
I mean, if you want to still partner with Easy Car, we kind of have to pay that one,
yeah.
so.
The Kirkwood lady?
Which that one that's still in the watershed, she's the one with
I
the
don't-
CDBG grant too that I'm dealing with. For Shelby's Trees, because I'm a fiscal agent.
Okay.
So they do a lot of that for us behind the
Yeah, I
scenes.
thought of Kirkwood.
They send me the GAX report, we send them receipts and stuff, and then,
Easy Cog does that? Yeah. I worked with them for the CDBG as well
yep,
to try to get the water system upgraded in Norway.
No. It's not in this one,
what's that?
Kirkwood.
Oh, did I put that one in there? I
No.
might have it in mine.
I got it. Christine Bullock?
Yep,
Yeah, but she don't have the,
Here, maybe it's in mine. We can sign Bruce's, I can give him another one.
oh, there's Christine Bullock.
Did you make notes on it?
Put a check mark on it.
Oh.
I didn't.
Okay, well, let's use Bruce's
All right.
big one. Cause I'll scan those to those departments.
Is that the one you wrote?
yeah,
Yep.
You go?
So if you sign and then I'll fill in the
Okay.
date where she came in here,
okay,
cause she come in person.
yep.
I also have, the HACAP lady is coming in person too next week. Cause I thought she could come and give you guys an update, right?
This is all your stuff.
You did the credit card agreements.
I'm doing them right now. How many credit cards are there?
A lot.
Holy.
We used to only have one for county. But a lot of that stuff is, some people have, like, when we order our envelopes anymore, some of it is they want a card.
Some of that's just crazy.
So where,
So in the handbook, we had the department heads who use the credit cards fill out those forms. Technically, you oversee them or oversaw them because you selected their credit limit and stuff when
Yeah.
you originally got approved. So that's why I'm having you sign it. But then if the department head loans their credit card out, say if I want Alicia to take it to hotel, then I would have her fill that out on my behalf, because I let her take the credit card. And she's aware of the policy. Like you don't charge room service or anything on your hotels.
You'd be surprised what people will try.
So you want me to sign down here where it says card holder signature,
Yeah, because it's under bank.
or anywhere?
Anywhere that you looked at them and acknowledged them.
Okay.
Because the bank, you know how they're real, they make me send them the minutes or anything like that when we change stuff.
So they'll be bringing you a card to use for whatever you need, Bruce.
Right.
Supervisors don't have one.
Tracy signed it, so
That's it?
he's liable. It's whatever you need.
My wife won't even
Supervisors
give
don't
me
have a
one.
credit card. Did anybody sign up for March ISAC?
I think I'm gonna be in Texas.
When is
I would
that?
like to go.
March
We got
12th.
the, March 12th?
Well, let's see. Yeah, I think it's 12th through 14th.
That's in Des Moines?
It's down the Veterans Memorial.
Okay.
Are you getting those emails?
Yeah.
Okay, because then they'll have like blocks of room open for a certain period.
Right.
Otherwise, I think I can register you guys on ISAC too. And what we do is when we print out the invoice and then it just goes through the claims.
That's a Friday, you said Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
No, it's a Wednesday, it's usually like Thursday and Friday.
Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
Alright, calendar. Yeah, we would leave the 13th and come back the 17th. Nope. March.
It is
Yep.
March. Yeah.
Leave the 13th, come back the 17th.
I can see what your supervisor agenda looks like.
Because I think the girls have that Monday, or Friday and Monday off from
Like a
school.
spring break.
Yep. That's when they decided we'd try to go.
And those ISAC, that can't be, that's in-house only, right?
Those are conferences, yeah.
I've been to a few of those over the years. They offer a lot of good information. And then you get to network with everybody.
Yeah.
March 13th and 14th.
I'm gonna be on my way to Texas, and then in Texas.
So like Wednesday, it actually does start. There's a legislation reception Wednesday night. So usually the first day, it's like joint sessions, like, and then you usually break out into your affiliates.
Okay.
Be your own supervisors, auditors. And then they feed you lunch. And then they have like exhibitors there, so vendors, you can go around and talk to different vendors. They have a whole area.
Okay.
When is County Day on the Hill?
I don't think they're just doing it, it's because it's usually that Wednesday.
That's what I thought.
That's why they're calling it the legislative reception now.
So we're not gonna get a County Day on the Hill.
I might have to go with ISAC though, my ISAC group,
Yeah,
because we're,
but I would go regardless.
that one was fun. And you go meet with them, like Tom Gerhold, he always is willing to take you in the chambers, and
Mm-hmm.
if you've never been in there when they're in session, it's pretty neat.
I got escorted out of the house for once.
You did?
Escorted out, in or out?
Out.
Out.
Out. They marched me right out, front door.
All right, so next Tuesday, I'm just gonna try to get as many more as I can in. When do you guys feel like you wanna act on wages after they've all been in?
I would say yes.
At least if I, start with the worst case scenario numbers.
That ISAC meeting, I'm trying to think, I don't have it written down, but when spring break is. It's a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and I think it's that week.
It could be, is that when your girls are off too, Ron?
Yes.
Because, is it a hanging offense if you go Wednesday and Thursday and come home Thursday night?
Oh, I mean, you could just go for the whole day Thursday.
Yeah. I might, and then I wouldn't have a hotel or anything, I could just drive up and drive back.
Yeah, but I think Gary Beershank did that one a few times. He got there for the general session where it was just the motivational speaker part. I'll see what it says here. Because I think you can lower your fees for one day too. Ron, oh, you can't. Tracy, you're not?
No.
I'll have to double check that date.
And you said there is a meeting tonight at 6?
She sent it out here, let's see.
She did?
That's
I have it on the computer.
EMS one?
Yeah.
She sent the minutes from the last one and auditor's office info from Haley and Alicia. Discuss approved budget numbers with the addition of Walford. Because originally, they come up with that formula and then they come to the board. So if they change it, they still have to come to you guys, right?
I would say so.
They need to change it.
Because, did I send you guys what I've been finding out more and more on?
Yes, you did. I got it printed right here.
With the couple different people
Yep.
with their opinions?
Yep. Oh, I interrupt you. You were gonna say, who's coming next week?
Oh,
I interrupt you. That was my fault.
so far, I have the Homer Township person on there. The sheriff and their bids and their budget. Benton Development Group's coming.
They are.
Jane with HACAP is coming. Public Health, budget, and then hopefully IT, GIS, and possibly engineer and sheriff.
The computer ain't been updated.
And then I put back on that flood insurance renewal. Did Nancy send you that little blurb that she got back?
I didn't see it.
She sent it today, I can read it.
No, I checked my email real early this morning, or late last night. I can't remember.
Basically, they said that those amounts were what has been on them for years.
Oh.
So I don't know where, as long as we went with Holmes and Murphy's. She said,
As long as the insurance company's okay with it,
we can advise the coverage limits on the flood policies have not changed since Holmes Murphy took over. You may need to research internally to see if there is any documentation from the time of purchasing the flood coverage for the first time to shed light on to why the limits were chosen, to hear why, so.
I'd say if they're comfortable with them.
Oh. Lots of emails?
You sent a revised confirmation? No, that's Monday.
I printed them out for
Yep,
you.
yep, yep, yep. That's Monday.
So those few little changes I just did, I figure I'm not gonna print you a whole new one. When I
No.
get all done, what I'll do is I'll print you a combined pages, and then it just goes by.
That's fine with me.
And then the state budget I can give you, because that's compiling. Printed them? Thank you.
So I don't know, I mean, it's kind of small, but I tried to fit it all on the page.
How often do you update the unfunded mandates? Is that as an ongoing thing where I'll listen to say, hey, guess what? Surprise.
Yep, or when the state will change legislation and let us know.
Whenever they do.
Yep.
That's like Lexa, she doesn't know if the rates are fully gonna be up, but
Right.
there's talk, or there's a bill.
Okay, that was, you just read that from Nancy.
So do you also get the ISAC every Friday, they'll send out a legislative priority email?
What they worked on last week.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how you can kind of follow along with stuff.
Did we get through all those other?
And then,
On the agenda?
yeah, from what I've seen.
This away. Alright, I've got to go with the boys' room.
Well, if you're done with this stuff, we can probably adjourn, and Ron and I are staying here for
We got another meeting.
2:30.
Okay.
And I can keep working while I'm here, I'm not going back and forth.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.